Hello, good afternoon. This is over and over and over again. My name is Richard, and this is Matchday Live. It is the big one from the Emirates. Arsenal versus Manchester United, one of the biggest fixtures in the history of the Premier League. It may not have the same kind of intense rivalry that there was, of course, back in the days of George Graham and Arsene Wenger and Alex Ferguson, but it's still a big game, especially for this season, looking at the form of both these teams coming into it. We're going to get into the game the other side of this. So, first of all, then, we need to bring you the team news for this big game today, don't we? So, this is how the teams line up for you this afternoon. So, for Arsenal, then in goal, it is Aaron Ramsdale, keeps his place. The speculation he was going to be dropped for this game, maybe, but he is there. The back four is what we were used to last season. Ben White at right back, William Saliba, Gabriel's back in the team, and Zinchenko at left back. In midfield, Declan Rice, captain Martin Odegaard, and Kai Havertz keeps his place. And the front three, not too many changes there. Of course, it is Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli either side of Eddie Nketiah, who keeps his place, of course, after scoring 2 goals already this season. On the bench then for Arsenal is David Raya, the goalkeeper, Jacob Kiwior, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Jorginho, Fabio Vieira, Emil Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, Gabriel Jesus, and Leandro Trossard. So no Thomas Partey, as we know, due to injury. Is that the only reason Arteta's made that change in defence? Who knows? Anyway, that is the Arsenal team. Very strong-looking Arsenal side. For Manchester United, and in goal it is Andre Onana. Their back four is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Lisandro Martinez, and Diogo Dalot. In midfield, Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, captain Bruno Fernandes, and then the front three is Anthony, Marcus Rashford, and Anthony Martial. On the bench then for United today is the new goalkeeper, Alti Bayondia. There's Harry Maguire, Sergio Reguilon, of course, on loan from Tottenham, Johnny Evans back at Manchester United, Alessandro Garnacho, Fortundo, Palistri. There is Hannibal Medbury, Dan Gore, and of course the new signing Rasmus Holland, the Danish striker. So they are your lineups then for this game today. What are we thinking, guys? What are we thinking? Let's have a look. We've got some comments in already. Terry's not holding back, is he? He's gone, I'll set her out straight away. I mean, he's picked the right team today, so let's not be too hard on him quite just yet, but we need an improvement on last week, of course, as we know. Phil's here, where didn't feel good to see him, mate. He says, at least we can't play Partey at right back today. Exactly, yeah, we can't. We're not, because he's injured. This is what I'm saying. Would that still have happened? Had Thomas Partey been fit, would Arteta have made this change? Or would he have kept with how stubborn he can be, would he have kept with it anyway to prove a point? The fact is, maybe, and it's not often we would have said this in the last couple of years, is it? Maybe the Thomas Partey injury could be a blessing in disguise if it means we now get our proper back four back into the team, and if we get a result today, it's probably going to stay like that, isn't it? So it could end up being a blessing in disguise. Of course, in midfield with Declan Rice, he's not much of a downgrade on Thomas Partey, if at all, is he? So maybe that's not a bad thing, is it? Nathan's in the chat. Hey, my friend, good to see you. He says, hi Rich, hope you're well. I'm doing good mate, hope you are as well. What do you think of the score? But that's a good question. Let's get some score predictions in. Looking at the Arsenal team, it's I would say it's pretty much the team most of us would probably pick. If everybody's fit, maybe Kai Havertz is the one, isn't he, that people are thinking, oh, would it be him? Maybe Jorginho. But we are at home. Do we need 2 more holding midfield players when we're playing at home? Maybe not. Maybe in away games, that might be the way to go. I think it's going to be a tight game. We haven't been playing particularly well. We've made a few changes again today. United's got a strong side. I think a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. Let me know what you guys think. Rajandra's in as well. Rajandra, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. All very optimistic there from Rajandra. He's gone 4-1 to Arsenal. Well, that'd be good, wouldn't it? When was the last time we scored 4 against Man United in a Premier League game? I can't remember, actually. We probably have done. I don't know, actually. Have we ever scored 4 against Man United in the Premier League game? Well, who knows? But anyway, let's see. Terry's here as well. How you doing, Terry? I know you was a bit quick there with the Arteta out, but we'll let you off. Terry says, afternoon, Richard, Bill, Nathan, Rajandra in the chat. Yeah, doing, mate. Hope you're well. Terry says, great news. Partey out for 2 to 3 months. What the hell is going on at the training ground and our backroom? So, well, yeah. But as I said, I actually think that certainly for the time being, that's actually could be a slight blessing, because I don't think Arteta would have made that defensive change had he not been injured. So I think it may well do us a favour if it means getting a more settled, proper defence back. Well, we'll see what happens. It's still early days for that, isn't it? Mark C says he'd have kept Partey in. Yeah, I think he would, mate. I honestly do. I agree with you. I think he would have kept Partey in, because if he was going to make a change, he would have made a change already in one of these first opening 3 games that we haven't played particularly well in, wouldn't he? He would have done it, and he hasn't. So it was forced on him. Let's not start thinking Arteta suddenly seen the light this has been forced on him. If it works as it should do, then happy days. We'll keep this, hopefully, this back four together for as long as we can. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, how the results go in the meantime. But when Thomas Partey's fit again, where does he fit him in? That's going to be the interesting one, isn't it? But we'll see. But anyway, let's not worry about that for now. Today, we've got what I think's our, the only, I say we've got 10 of the 11 that probably most of us would pick. Given a choice, I would have changed the goalkeeper myself personally. I know not everybody would. I would have put David Raya in. I think he's a better all-round goalkeeper. Ramsdale's making too many mistakes over a consistent period of time for me. So I think a change there would have been what I would have done. And Kai Havertz is the one that divides opinion still. He's obviously in the team to play the Granit Xhaka role from last season, isn't he? That's what he's there for. That's what many people speculated over the summer when we bought him. That's what he was going to do. It seems that's the position that Arteta's got for him. Is he going to be able to make that position his own? I don't know. I really don't know. At the moment, the jury's still out, isn't it, on Kai Havertz? I mean, I said at the beginning, I like him as a player. It didn't work out for him particularly well at Chelsea, but sometimes just because a player doesn't work at one club doesn't mean they won't work at another club under a different manager, under a different system. So I'm prepared to give him a chance still. He's played in a couple of different positions already. He hasn't managed to find a settled place in the team. If this is going to be his place in that midfield, in the Granit Xhaka kind of role, which it looks as though he is today, and he settles into that role, then brilliant. We'll all be happy, won't we? I'm prepared to give him a little bit more time. But if another 3 or 4 games, it's still not really working, that's the time I think, get him out of the team. Let him work on things in training and maybe come back later on in the season, but we'll see. But yeah, I want him to do well, obviously. I think we all do. And let's hope today's the day where Kai Havertz really shines. He seems to be a big game player, doesn't he? Looking at his career at Chelsea, he certainly played well in some of their big games and he played there, didn't he? So let's hope he's a big game player. He turns up today, puts in a great performance. Wouldn't it be nice to get his first goal as well in a game like this against Manchester United? And I say they've got a good side, Manchester United, for me. They have a strong side, aren't they? I know they haven't always played the best so far this season. They're not that far behind us, though, are they? If they were to win this game, they'd go above us in the table, wouldn't they? So it is a big game. Their front three. I know people criticise Anthony, and I can understand why, but he has got some quality, and he had a great game, didn't he, against us? Was it his debut at Old Trafford? I don't know if it was last season or the season before. He was brilliant, wasn't he, if you remember that game? So he's definitely capable of turning it on and causing us problems. We know how good Marcus Rashford can be on his day as well. And Martial's never really hit the heights, has he, as a centre-forward at United, but again, we know he's got quality, hasn't he? And their midfield, I mean, Casemiro, Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, that's a good midfield, isn't it? A really good midfield up against Rice, Ødegaard and Havertz. That's going to be that's where this game's going to be won and lost, isn't it? In that battle there, I think defensively, there's not a lot to choose between the sides, if I'm honest. We can see a lot of goals. Man United, not as solid as they were, but you look at the lineups, very, very similar, I think, in quality. So, I think the front three, Man United are probably slightly, I don't know, you see, if Martinelli can find his form, Saka's not been at his best either. It's just, I don't know, that there's, we know Eddie Nketiah isn't the answer as a centre forward if we're going to, over a whole season. He's all right to come in and do a job. But with Jesus fit now, Trossard as well, I think his days as a starter are going to be numbered anyway. The teams are coming out of the tunnel now. Arsenal, of course, in their traditional home shirts, red shirts, white sleeves and white socks, white shorts and white socks. Man United in their new, rather funky away kit, which we'll see very shortly. They've got tracksuit tops on at the moment, I think. But anyway, they're coming out of the tunnel now into the sort of early autumn, late summer sunshine at the Emirates. It's a nice day. The rain finally has stopped after about 3 months. We're getting a summer in September, which is nice, isn't it? Let's have a look what Mark C says there. This week, I hope we concentrate from the first second and not give away a sloppy early goal. Yeah. I mean, we can't afford to keep doing that, can we, to be honest with you? It's happened 3 times in this calendar year, as we know, and we don't really need to be doing that anymore, do we? And hopefully today, it seems to be against the lesser teams, doesn't it? Maybe we've got a concentration issue when we're playing teams we're expected to beat. Southampton, Bournemouth last season, and Fulham last week. So in a game against Man United, you'd imagine we're going to be more switched on just because of the nature of the game. And I think that's what we've shown previously as well. So I'd be surprised if we conceded so early today. I wouldn't say we definitely won't, but I'd be quite surprised if we do, to be honest. And Nathan says, I can't stand Anthony to be. No, I mean, a lot of people don't like him. I understand why. He's not a very likeable character, is he, on the pitch? But he has got quality. To me, there's no doubt about that. He's playing regularly for Man United, and we've seen in glimpses of what he can do. So he's a danger man on his day, definitely. And let's hope that we can keep him quiet today. He doesn't have his best He doesn't have his best day. Terry says Havertz had one good season 4 years ago. How many more chances are we going to give it? Yeah, but that was at different clubs, Terry, mate. You know, some players don't work at a certain club and then they move clubs and it works. So I'm prepared to accept that. You know, he was at Chelsea, and a lot of players haven't worked out at Chelsea. It doesn't mean they're bad players. If you look at, for example, Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne, you know, it would be easy to have said, well, they were crap at Chelsea, so give them 2 games at Arsenal and bin them off. No, you know, you've got to give a player like Havertz. I kind of agree with Arteta on that. You've got to give him a little bit more time. And if it doesn't work, another 3 or 4 games, then I'd agree. Then, you know, stick him back on the bench and let him work his way back in. But for now, I'm prepared to give him the benefit of the doubt. He is a good player. He just needs to settle into this team. And I'm not going to judge him on his Chelsea form because he doesn't play for Chelsea anymore. And he's got a different manager, different system and everything else. So, you know, let's give him a chance. Anyway, let's hang fire on him for a little while, a little bit longer. And let's see what happens. Redemptor says there, let's be positive for the Arsenal and get behind the whole team. Arteta and Israel. And exactly, yeah, we want to be positive and get behind. Of course we do. You know, we want to see a good performance and 3 points there, don't we? And hopefully we will. Nathan says there, move him onto his right foot. He's so ineffective on that side. Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's playing in that kind of left-sided role where Granit Xhaka played. It's maybe not quite as suited to him, but Arteta likes the inverted kind of player, doesn't he? He plays the left foot, he plays on the right in most positions in the team. So, you know, he does it in the front 3, doesn't he, with Saka and Martinelli. So, you know, he's done it in the fullback positions previously as well, hasn't he? He's played Tommy Asu at left back, for example, and stuff like that. So, and Timber, of course, who's right footed. So, you know, that's kind of what he tends to do, doesn't he, Arteta, anyway? So let's not kind of worry too much about that. Let's just hope he can do a job in the team. The referee today is Anthony Taylor, by the way, which is what it is. We know what they're like, these Premier League referees. None of them are any good, are they? Let's be honest. Doesn't really matter who we get. Mark C says Havertz has a bit of the Berbatov about him, a language. No, he does. He does look very laid back, doesn't he? There's no doubt about that. And I think maybe that's one of the things that go against him a little bit, because people look at him and think, oh, is he really trying? He's definitely trying. He's just got that kind of, he's just got that demeanour about him. And it's going to be Man United to kick off in this kind of greeny white stripes, black colour, can't really sure what colour it is anyway. They've just kicked off. They're attacking the North Bank, which is a goal to our left in this first half. Arsenal attacking the clock end in this first half. I say in the Emirates sunshine, though this near side, Arsenal's right is in shade, of course, by the stand late afternoon in early September. Of course, it'll be, these games will kick off with a floodlight soon, won't they? When the clocks change and stuff like that, we get more into the winter and the later autumn. But for now, we've got sunshine. It feels a little bit like late summer, doesn't it? And let's hope the game lives up to expectations. The 2 teams that finished 2nd and 3rd, of course, in the Premier League last season. And Man City's nearest challengers, you could say, although Man United didn't really at any point really look as though they were going to challenge for the title, did they? But anyway, let's see. Anyway, Man United are in possession with Martinez. He plays it square into the centre there. But they're giving the ball away, and Arsenal can come forward straight away here. Kai Havertz with a long ball over the top. It's a good ball as well. Over on that far side, Gabriel Martinez in, pulls it back across. Oh, there's a good cross actually there, but it's cleared away by Dalot. And Man United have cleared away Arsenal's first attack. Well, that was good play from Arsenal. Bukayo Saka on his near side plays the ball back to Ben White. Those two getting their relationship back again. That worked so well, didn't it? So we'll see. Steve's in the chat there. Steve, my friend, good to see you. He says, oh, nearly. Yeah, it was nearly. It was a decent ball in, wasn't it? But it was cleared away. Terry says, what, retired from football from what I've seen? No. Berbatov was a great player, was it? Let's be honest. Anyway, Arsenal in possession now. It is William Saliba plays it square to Zinchenko, who's does what he's doing, drops into midfield. He's basically a midfield player playing left back, isn't he? And he's now completely out of position should we lose the ball. But we aren't, because we're coming forward with Ben White on this near side. Plays the ball back again. He gets it back again. Zinchenko. He's almost playing as a right-sided midfielder. Declan Rice now plays the ball out to that far side. Gabriel Martinelli. He's going to have a run at Aaron Wan-Bissaka, gets past him, but he can't quite get across in. He gets to the byline, does get across him, but it's blocked by the Manchester United fullback. He's going to be a corner though to Arsenal. Fast start this from Arsenal. Mark C says, weird-looking kit. It is Man United's kit is a weird-looking kit. You're absolutely right. Very strange-looking kit. But anyway, I'm sure we'll get used to it. Russ is here. Aidan. Russ, good to see you, my friend. He says, let's get stuck in. Indeed, of course, let's get stuck in. It's Man United, isn't it? That's pretty much traditional for Arsenal, isn't it? And Man United games to get everyone to get stuck in. Let's see. It's a corner to Arsenal over on the far side. Gabriel Martinelli with it, plays it low and short into the near post. It's touched back to him. Martinelli now inside the box, tries to put it in at the near post, but it was blocked. And it's gone behind. It is going to be a goal kick to Manchester United. Slightly different corner routine there, wasn't it? A little bit of a strange one, maybe. It was played short by Martinelli. He got the ball back from Eddie Nketiah. It was, got into the box, and then his low cross, trying to play across the 6-yard box, was blocked. And eventually went behind for a goal kick to Manchester United. We've played 3 minutes. Arsenal have been the better team so far. But Man United are kind of used to that, aren't they? If you remember last week, they were 2-0 down in 5 minutes at home to Nottingham Forest. And they didn't play particularly well in their previous home game, did they? And they did lose, of course, in North London a couple of weeks ago, didn't they? When they were beaten 2-0 at Tottenham. They were very poor that day. I mean, Tottenham did play pretty well, to be fair, but Man United were really poor. And I'm sure if they play as poorly as that today, we will win this game. But they've not started particularly well in this game. They're trying to play out from the back. And it goes back again to Onana, all in yellow, which is quite strange with a name that sounds a bit like a banana, and he's wearing an all-yellow kit anyway. We won't go down that particular route. Man United are playing out from the back, and they've actually done well. They've beaten the press from Arsenal. Casemiro now over on the far side. And Man United coming forward really for the first time. It is Anthony, the Brazilian, up against a fellow Brazilian in Gabriel, back in the team today, of course, although I say more by, I don't think it was necessarily by Arteta's choice, but anyway, let's hope he has a good game, because we know how important he was for us for much of last season, Gabriel. And it's going to be another throw to Manchester United over on that far side, which Wan-Bissaka is going to take for Manchester United, former Crystal Palace fullback, of course. Been at Man United for quite a long time, hasn't he? And of course, played for England as well. Steve says nearly scored in 1 minute. Yeah, we nearly did. Yeah, it makes a change from conceding a goal in the first minute, doesn't it? Anyway, Nana takes a bit of a risk there, actually, under pressure from Eddie Nketiah, but a long ball up this near side, looking for Marcus Rashford, who hasn't actually had a touch of the ball yet in these early stages. Arteta picked up the ball and then dropped it again. So Diogo Dalot is going to have to take this throw. Thomas Partey is there in the stands. This injury, bit strange the way that all came out, wasn't it, from the Ghanaian FA? Arsenal tend not to release stuff about injuries, do we? We very kind of keep things close to our chest, but that got released, didn't it, the other day? And it all seems a little bit strange. I think something's been going on there that we're not sure about, really. But anyway, let's see. Terry says, at least we ain't 1-0 down yet. It's a massive improvement. Well, it's a big improvement on last week, isn't it? Because we were already 1-0 down last week at this point and not playing particularly well. Anyway, ball's now thrown in to midfield by Arsenal. Gabriel Martinelli battling away, but he loses out there. And Lisandro Martinez plays the ball forward into the centre circle. He gets it back again at the little Argentinian. He's not a very popular figure, is he, either amongst fans of other clubs for his attitude on the pitch. Remember that pre-season game that we played in America where he got involved in a few incidents, didn't he, Martinez? He tends to... He's a typical South American, isn't he, really? Let's be honest, very hot-headed. And you kind of know what you're going to get with him, don't you? Annan has come out of his penalty area playing as a sweeper at the moment. This is the modern way for goalkeepers, isn't it? In fact, he's midway inside the Manchester United half, plays a long ball forward. It's not a particularly great ball. Ben White easily deals with that and plays it back to Saliba. It's more usual back four for Arsenal today, the one that was so successful for so long last season until injuries, of course, cost us the presence of William Saliba and Zinchenko as well at places. Not that necessarily is a big problem, but of course it is now with the left back situation as it is, with Kieran Tierney gone out on loan, and of course Duran Timber injured for what could be most of the season. So we've got a slight issue there, haven't we, now in the left back position? That's a poor clearance from Arsenal. May not have picked the ball up high up the pitch, and I do think that's going to be a feature of this game. But Arsenal won it back again with Martin Odegaard finds Declan Rice. Declan Rice plays out to that far side to Zinchenko. That's in the sunshine. Arsenal's left over on that far side in front of the east stand. Sorry, the west stand. The east stand is this near side. Arsenal coming forward now through at midfield. Eddie Nketiah drops deep, lays the ball off to Zinchenko. He plays the ball over the top, looking for the run of Martinelli, but that ball's going to run out and behind for a goal kick to Manchester United. We've played 7 minutes, and it is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. And it's been a better start from Arsenal, obviously, compared to last week in particular. We've had a couple of half opportunities already, nothing to write home about really, and Man United have not really threatened us at this stage. They're still feeling their way in to the game. Hopefully we'll be okay. Terry says, I ain't confident when Ramsdale messes with the ball in that box. No, I don't think anybody is. And this is one reason why I think that we've bought David Raya. Mark C says, please no fighting around. We're at the back, lads. Well, yeah, but we've already done that already and nearly gave the ball away. And Steve says, what's new, Terry? Yeah, exactly, yeah. Anyway, Anthony's just gone down under a challenge from Havertz. It is going to be a free kick there to Manchester United. It was a decent take. It was all a bit of a late challenge there from Havertz, actually. He was a bit late on Anthony. I don't think there was much contact, to be fair. But anyway, it is a free kick to Man United, which they've now taken. Lisandro Martinez is in possession. Plays it back again to Onana, the new Manchester United goalkeeper, of course, for this season. Following in the footsteps, of course, of David De Gea, who had such a great career, didn't he, at Manchester United? He's got big gloves to fill, hasn't he, Andre Onana? But I'm sure he'll do okay. He is a good goalkeeper. I remember there was a time when there were talk of him coming to Arsenal, wasn't there? Arsenal may have been interested in buying him, so we know he's a good goalkeeper. But let's hope today he's going to let in a couple of goals at least, and Arsenal can get the 3 points. But Man United seem to have settled down a little bit more now. They're knocking the ball around quite well. Over on that far side, it is with Wan-Bissaka, gets it back off Anthony, and then just touches it in to Victor Lindelof. The Swedish defender finds Martinez on this near side in the shade. Lisandro Martinez doesn't look like a centre. It doesn't look like a Premier League central defender, does he? Leandro Martinez. His size, he's very small, but he is very strong, and I say he's very aggressive as well, isn't he? As we know. Anyway, the ball goes back to Andre Onana, brings it out of his penalty area, goes long again. It's a very long ball actually through the middle, looking for the run in behind of Diego Dallo. Actually, was very high up the pitch, but Ben White's dealt with that, and it's gone back to Aaron Ramsdale, who's all in blue. Actually, nice blue kit today for Aaron Ramsdale, looking very smart. Let's hope he cuts out his mistakes today. Mark C says, has Ben White dyed his hair black? I don't think if he's dyed it black, I think it's naturally black. He probably just hasn't dyed it blonde as he normally does. Nathan says 3 times Onana has tried that. Yeah, I think he's going to try that a lot of times in this game. That seems to be the way that Man United play, don't they? They want to get the ball back to Onana to go long. And that may well cause us some problems, because I wouldn't say we're the best at dealing with that kind of situation, really, are we? So let's see. Hopefully it won't do. But yeah, you're right. He has done it about 3 times. Nathan says you can see what they're trying to do. Yeah, exactly. You can. And, bearing in mind, it's still pretty early days for Ten Hag. It's only his second season, very, very early on in his second season as well. He's still trying to stamp his authority on the way that they play. But you can see what their style is now. It's different to how we've expected Man United teams to play in the past, isn't it? And I think maybe that's why everybody's maybe not quite got what's going on there, because it's a totally different style, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal coming forward now. Martin Odegaard up his near side to Bukayo Saka. He's going to try and have a run here at Diego Dallo. He's held up briefly, plays it into Martin Odegaard. That's a very good tackle on him actually there from Bruno Fernandes, the Manchester United captain. It's all got a little bit scrappy there in the midfield, and referee Andy Taylor's actually given a free kick. That was a good play there though, actually, from it was a good tackle from Bruno Fernandes on Martin Odegaard, and he won the ball, and Casemiro's just having a word with the referee there. Christian Eriksen has come over to the to this near side to chat to manager Erik ten Hag. Just a few tactical instructions there you would think there for Christian Eriksen. Of course, he's always been remembered for his days at Tottenham only, as far as we're concerned, but he is a great player, there's no doubt about that. Anyway, Manchester United now in possession, looking to try to get the ball forward in this rather strange away kit of theirs that they've got. Bruno Fernandes just plays it back again. It's now with Victor Lindelof, plays it square to Martinez, just on halfway almost now, closed down by Bukayo Saka, so it goes back again. You can see what Man United are trying to do, as Nathan said, and he's right. They've got a very set pattern that they want to play. They're very patient. They're not looking to necessarily waste the ball, are they? Looking to keep possession in midfield, and then they try to go long if they have to, but they've just lost the ball and it's Kai Havertz who's won it over on that far side, and he's fouled, is he? But we keep the ball, so we play on. Gabriel Martinelli over on that far side. 12 minutes played. Can Arsenal get the breakthrough? Martinelli over on the far side there, plays across towards the box looking for... Oh, it's a mistake at the back. Kai Havertz, a missed kick. Oh, that was his big chance. It was a poor clearance there from Manchester United. It fell to Kai Havertz inside the area, and he completely missed his kick there. This should have been 1-0 to Arsenal. It was Martinelli's cross. It was a poor header away. It comes to Kai Havertz on his left foot. Oh, my word, that is a terrible miss, actually. It was a mistake at the back by Manchester United. Nice first touch, and then it's a terrible shot. And then Martinez just managed to get the ball away from Eddie Nketiah. Wow, it is a corner to Arsenal, but that was absolutely a big miss for Kai Havertz. An opportunity there to really lay his marker down for Arsenal and get the Arsenal fans on his side, but a complete miss kick inside the penalty area. Terry says, can we just not kick him out of the club now? The transfer window's shut, unfortunately. I mean, that was a shocking miss, I've got to be honest. You know, I've been trying to defend him, but you can't really defend that. That was a terrible miss. I'm not saying necessarily you have to score, but from that position, you've got to get your shot on target and make the goal, you make the save, and he completely missed his kick. Anyway, Man United have only half cleared the corner, so Arsenal are still in possession. Ben White plays up this near side to Bukayo Saka, closed down quickly by Dalot, but manages to keep possession. Ben White plays it in to Declan Rice. Now it's with Bukayo Saka, cuts in field, finds Martin Odegaard. Arsenal building some pressure now. We've played nearly 14 minutes at the Emirates. It's back now with Declan Rice, plays it up that far side to Ben White, gets it back again at Declan Rice. Plays it in to William Saliba, gets it back, Ben White. This is good play from Arsenal. Nice football here. He's now with Martin Odegaard. There's a bit of space over on that far side for Gabriel Martin. It wasn't a great ball, actually. Wan-Bissaka's clearance isn't great either. And Martinelli has now got the ball right over on that far touchline. He's closed down by Anthony and Wan-Bissaka, and he's won Arsenal another corner. And a good bit of pressure this from Arsenal, building now. But that one big chance there for Kai Havertz to get his first Arsenal goal. Really should have done a lot better. That'll be a miss. That'll be replayed, I'm sure, lots of times over the next few weeks. Anyway, he's a corner to Arsenal over on that far side again, which Martinelli's going to take. Something goes long at the edge of the 6-yard box. Goalkeeper Nana only punches half clear to Bukayo Saka inside the box. His shot, though, hits Christian Eriksen. And Manchester United now can try to launch a counter-attack, but Zinchenko's there to tidy that up. Mark C says, I want to see us change up our corner kick routines. But we sort of did that. We've had a couple of short ones and a couple of low ones into the near post. That was a more of a one into the 6-yard box there. And it put the goalkeeper under a bit of pressure on Nana. He managed to get it punched clear, but in the end, Bukayo Saka's follow-up effort hit Christian Eriksen. That's a poor ball actually there from Zinchenko, surprisingly enough. And Diego Dalot now can come forward for Manchester United. A little bit of space over on that far side, but that was a poor ball actually. Looking for Bruno Fernandes, and in the end, Kai Havertz was there to cut that out, and Arsenal picked up possession again. But yeah, that was a poor ball actually from Zinchenko that almost caused Arsenal problems. But anyway, we're back in possession now, and now that ball goes out to that far side, looking again for Martinelli. But Wan-Bissaka's there, heads it back to goalkeeper Anana, who's quite happy with the ball at his feet, isn't he? He's got no problem there at all. And he doesn't even want to pick it up when he can. He just keeps moving it with his feet. And he's got it back again now. Anana, the Cameroon international, plays the ball short in to Christian Eriksen. The Man United keeping possession over on that far side. It's back now with Anana again. He's quite comfortable, isn't he? Even when he's put under pressure by Eddie Nketiah as he was then, he doesn't rush things, does he? He's quite in control. The Manchester United goalkeeper, the new breed of goalkeeper, isn't he? Kai Havertz does well in midfield, just lays the ball off to Declan Rice. Now Declan Rice has got it back again from Gabriel, and now it's with William Saliba in the centre circle. It is Zinchenko. Plays the ball out to that far side. Gabriel Martinelli again. He's going to try to have a run at Aaron Wan-Bissaka. That's a good race between those two. Wan-Bissaka's quick as well, isn't he? So that could be interesting. But in the end, the ball goes back again. It's with William Saliba inside the centre circle. Just lays it off to Gabriel in the sunny side of the Emirates. Late afternoon here at the Emirates. It's now with Bukayo Saka on his near side again. He's got two players for company, as he tends to get a lot, doesn't he? Now Martin Odegaard on the end of the box manages to find a shot there. Good block, actually, a combination of Lisandro Martinez and Christian Eriksen. Man United managed to scramble that ball away. Good play again now on the edge of the box. Now Martinelli again is going to try and have another run at Wan-Bissaka. He goes around the outside this time, puts a cross in towards the far post, headed behind by Dalot for a corner to Manchester United as Bukayo Saka was threatening there to come on to the end of that cross. Good play from Martinelli over on that far side. Decent cross actually, but Dalot was always favourite to get there before Bukayo Saka, who was standing off him a bit, maybe waiting for the ball to reach him. It is a corner this time on the near side, which Bukayo Saka is going to take. We played nearly 18 minutes at the Emirates. Arsenal starting to really dominate this game without creating too many clear opportunities. Just that one for Havertz, which he miskicked inside at the penalty area. But anyway, it's a corner now. Can Arsenal get the early breakthrough here? A little bit of a delay to take this corner due to some pushing and shoving in the box. Anyway, Saka now is ready to take this corner. It's a decent ball towards the far post. A free header from Declan Rice, but he can't keep it down. 7 yards out, unmarked. Declan Rice there. Poor defending from Manchester United. And Declan Rice should have done better maybe with that header. He was maybe leaning back slightly to get it. It was a good corner actually from Bukayo Saka. And Declan Rice's header there couldn't direct it down. It's gone over into the clock end behind the goal. But that was a good chance actually for Arsenal. A good chance there from a corner. And a decent opportunity for Declan Rice. Couldn't keep his header down. And Anthony Taylor is now having a word with Lindelof, who's about to take this goal kick in front of the clock end. Not sure what that was all about. Anyway, he's taking it now, gives it back to Onana. Eddie Nketiah tries to close him down, but Man United keep doing this, playing it out from the back. Terry says unlucky Rice. Yeah, he was unlucky, but I think that's a decent chance, actually. He wasn't really under a lot of pressure, was he? Yes, he had to go backwards. He was leaning back when he got headed away, but has a good chance, and he maybe should have done a bit better with that, perhaps. But anyway, a long ball forward again from Manchester United, but that's been overhit. Trying to get Marcus Rashford or Martial in the game. They're not going to do like that, are they? And Arsenal have had 9 touches in the opposition box. Man U have had none. And Arsenal have had 5 shots to Man United's 1 as well. It's been a dominant start for Arsenal. But if you've watched Manchester United since Ten Hag's been there, they are quite happy to soak up possession, aren't they? And play on a counter-attack. So, you know, that's been the story of this game so far. It's not really unexpected in the way that Man United play. It's just going to be down to us to try to find this breakthrough and be mindful of these counter-attacks. Anyway, Bukayo Saka there looked like he'd lost the ball, but he's won it back. In fact, unfairly, says the referee, which, see, now that to me there was a strange one because it looked as though it was a 50-50 ball and Saka looked as though he'd got away there from Dalot. The referee didn't look as though he was going to actually blow for a free kick until Dalot was down and was injured. I mean, it was a clash of feet there. And yes, maybe Bukayo Saka was perhaps the more aggressor there. So, yeah, that maybe he's got the right decision, Anthony Taylor, there when you see the replay, to be fair. He didn't seem as though he gave it straight away when Bukayo Saka was clear until he saw that Dalot was injured and then decided to give the free kick. So, but it was the right decision looking at the replay. So, fair play to the referee on that particular occasion. It's not often that we can say that about them, is it? But we can on that occasion. Anyway, Manchester United now, again, trying to play it out from the back. And Lindelof plays out to that far side to Wan-Bissaka. Tried to give it back to Lindelof, but Arsenal won it back there with Kai Havertz, I think it was. Actually, no, it was Declan Rice. Sorry, good tackle there from Declan Rice. Eddie Nketiah's gone down over on the far side. The referee says play on, and Anthony comes clear with the ball. Plays it forward to Martial. Touches it off. Wasn't a great touch, actually, but Man United do keep possession with Victor Lindelof. Now it's with Bruno Fernandes. Plays up this near side. Marcus Rashford not had much of the ball at all, has he, so far? Goes past Bukayo Saka there, but he can't get past Ben White. But the clearance only falls to Leandro Martinez, and Bukayo Saka's now gone down. And I don't think it's a free kick the referee's going to give, but he has stopped the play so that Bukayo Saka can get some treatment. And some of the Arsenal players just having a word with him now. Mark C says Dalot made the most of it. Yeah, no, he did make the most of it. He definitely made the most of it, but it was a foul. And Arteta was claiming it should have been a foul on Ben White, actually, but it is actually Bukayo Saka who's the one who's picked up the injury there. Not quite sure exactly what happened to Bukayo Saka, but it's going to be a drop ball, and the Arsenal players are getting a drink, and it's an excuse, obviously, for Mikel Arteta to give some tactical information across to the players. We're midway through this first half. It is still Arsenal 0, Manchester United 0. There hasn't been too many chances at either end, but of course there was that big one for Kai Havertz, who missed his kick. And That's the nearest we've come to a goal. Nathan says, yeah, need to test Onana more. You know what, man? You were like, no, exactly. Yeah, we do need to test him more. You're absolutely right. But it's finding those opportunities, isn't it? We've struggled so far to really create too much. Just that one opportunity to Kai Havertz, which was really a mistake from the. Well, I mean, it was a ricochet, wasn't it? The Man United defence, the ball fell to him, but we haven't really created too much. And you're right, we do need to test the goalkeeper more because we know he's got a mistake or two in him. It's a long ball forward from Ben White, looking for the run of Bukayo Saka, but that ball's overhit, and it's run behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. 23 minutes played at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Manchester United. And Arsenal have been a much better team so far, but we haven't really created a clear opportunity yet. The referee's already telling Man United to hurry up with the goal kicks. Are we going to see some yellow cards for time wasting, I wonder? The referee there is not happy with something here with that goal kick. They're making Man United take it again. In fact, it's Eddie Nketiah is told to keep out of the box. He encroached there on that goal kick, which is what happened last week as well, wasn't it? If you remember, when that Fulham player got booked, Eddie Nketiah was inside the penalty area then. And of course, we know what happened in the end when he got sent off, which actually changed the game, but not in a way that we kind of hoped it would have done, really, because from a position of winning 2-1 and they had a player sent off, we somehow managed to draw that game. But anyway, that's last week. We won't worry too much about that today. And so far we've played pretty well in this first half without, I say, creating too many big opportunities as yet. But we've only played half of this first half so far. So let's see what the rest brings. Ball's now back with Andre Onana again. He must have had some of the most touches in this first half for Manchester United, you would have thought, because he's got the ball again at his feet now. The Manchester United goalkeeper in his bright yellow kit. It does look like a banana, actually. Anyway, we're not going to go down that route. Anyway, Man United now coming for a long ball over the top again, looking for the run in behind. This time of Gabriel's conceded a free kick there, is he, on Anthony? He's protesting his innocence, Gabriel. Not quite sure what's happened there, actually. Let's have a look. It was William Saliba's header. Gabriel felt he was fouled, was he, by Anthony, the referee. He's claiming that he heard a whistle, was he there? Anyway, I'm not too sure what was going on. Nathan says that's a yellow, surely. Well, I don't know what's going on in this game with the referee, to be honest. Anyway, Aaron Ramsdale with a rare touch for him finds finds Declan Rice. Now it's with Ben White, plays it back again to Ramsdale. This time he goes long up this near side, looking for Eddie Nketiah, but that's a poor touch. And Nathan says there, he kicked the ball away. Oh, right, okay, did he? Well, no, I suppose he did kick the ball away, but he says he I don't know. Anyway, Man United are in possession at the moment. The ball is back now with Victor Lindelof, plays it up this near side to Leandro Martinez, plays it back to goalkeeper Onana. And again, Man United in no hurry to get the ball forward quite often, are they? They're just knocking it around pretty comfortably. And it's over on that far side with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Again, he plays it back to Onana. They're showing the Man United touch map on the screen, which is mostly 95% in their own half. Oh, that's a poor clearance, actually. Arsenal can come in here, can they? No, they can't, because Christian Eriksen's there. It's not a good clearance, though, but that's not a good ball from Kai Havertz. And now Man United have got an opportunity to break Christian Eriksen. It is. Oh, that's a good ball through to Marcus Rashford on this near side, just inside the Arsenal penalty. Marcus Rashford cuts inside. Marcus Rashford tries a shot, and he scored. 26 minutes played, and Ramsdale got a finger to it, couldn't keep it out, and Manchester United haven't had much of the ball, but they've got a goal. It is Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1. It is Marcus Rashford with the goal. He did give Manchester United the lead in this fixture last season, let's not forget. And that was a great ball from Christian Eriksen to create that chance. It was a poor ball in midfield from Arsenal. I think it might well have been Kai Havertz, but we'll have a look at the replay. Gave the ball away. Christian Eriksen brought it forward. It's a nice ball played through the fullback and the centre back for Arsenal. It was a poor ball there from, was it Kai Havertz or was it Declan Rice? Anyway, it was Kai Havertz, and then it was a decent finish there from Marcus Rashford, pinged into that far corner. Christian Eriksen with the ball inside of Ben White, and Rashford did the rest. And it's a decent finish. Ramsdale got a fingertip to it, but realistically, Man United shouldn't be scoring from that position. got a slight deflection, and Ramsdale got a finger to it, but not enough. And it has gone behind and into the goal. Mark C says, did that to ourselves. Yeah, no, we did. You're right. We did do it to ourselves. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what we were thinking there. Poor play, really. A quick counter attack for Manchester United, but that's what they do. But I say Marcus Rashford did give Man United the lead last season. We still came back to win. So, you know, plenty of time. There's only 27.5 minutes played. Manchester United 0. Arsenal 0, Manchester United 1, and it is Marcus Rashford again. He's got a habit of scoring against Arsenal, hasn't he, Marcus Rashford? And we haven't really learned our lessons ever. We're coming forward again now on that far side. Zinchenko into Eddie Nketiah. Now it's with Martinelli to the edge of the box. Martin Odegaard's there. Oh, it's an instant equaliser. Martin Odegaard's with the goal. Arsenal are behind for what, a minute, maybe a minute and a half. We've got level again, and it is Martin Odegaard with the goal. They say you're most vulnerable when you've just scored. Well, maybe Man United were there. And a bit of free space inside the penalty area. Martinelli with a pullback, and it is Martin Odegaard with instant response. That's what was needed. That is what was needed in this game. If we'd gone behind and Onana is telling everybody to calm down, maybe we should have done that from his point of view a few minutes ago. It's a nice move from Arsenal, actually. Zinchenko over on that far side, played it into Eddie Nketiah too. Gabriel Martinelli pulled it back. He's got so much space there from about 14 yards out there. Martin Odegaard, he doesn't tend to miss from there, does he? And he just tucked that one away. Good finish again from Martin Odegaard. And Mark C says, magic, get in. Nathan says, lovely finish. It was a lovely finish. Whipped into that far corner. Rajendra says, it's our game to win. Well, it's always been our game to win. We're at home. And we've come straight back. That's what you need. When you go behind, the important thing is to come back as quickly as you can. And we have done there. And they say you're vulnerable when you've just scored, most vulnerable when you've just scored. And maybe that's what happened there from United's perspective. But we took full advantage, and 2 goals in 2 minutes in this game. And suddenly it's come to life, isn't it? It's Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. And, wow, we've got a real game on our hands now, haven't we, in the Emirates sunshine. Terry says, thank God that was Odegaard, not Havertz. It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter who gets it. As long as it's a goal. We're coming forward again with Martin Odegaard, finds Bukayo Saka, tries to get across to the far post, headed away by Wan-Bissaka, but only as far as Kai Havertz. Nathan says there, picked up a lovely bit of space. Yeah, he did. It was a good counter-attack from Arsenal, actually. Mark C says, as soon as you saw it was him lining up, you knew he'd smash it home. Yeah, he doesn't tend to miss him, does he? Mark C says, yeah, agree, Terry. Redendra says, come on the Arsenal. Indeed, come on the Arsenal. We were behind for what? Probably a minute, may even been less than a minute. I don't know what the official timing of the goals were, but Arsenal certainly weren't behind for very long. And now we're looking to complete this turnaround. Bukayo Saka plays the ball back again to Ben White, plays it square to William Saliba. The game's getting back to the pattern that it had before, actually, with Arsenal largely in possession in the Man United half. And Man United quite happy to sit back and soak it up and then look for a counter attack, which they might do again here with Dalot. Plays it in to Martial, touches it off to Leandro Martinez, and that goes back to Onana. Andre Onana, the Manchester United goalkeeper. 31 minutes on the clock here at the Emirates. It is Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Suddenly the game's burst into life, hasn't it? There wasn't a lot of excitement before that. It was a lot of possession football without really too much going on. And then the goal from Marcus Rashford suddenly opened things up, and Martin Odegaard's equalised, and it's now 1-1. And it's been a lively couple of minutes, hasn't it? Anyway, Anthony's over on that far side in possession, lays the ball off to Christian Eriksen, got that great assist for the Manchester United goal, of course. But that lead didn't last very long, did it? Which is good. And Man United, though, just getting some possession now, looking to try to keep the ball. Which they've not had too much of, have they, actually, in this first half? But they have got a goal anyway. Coming forward again now with the goal there. Goalsborough, Marcus Rashford on this near side, plays the ball inside the penalty. It's pulled back by Dalot to the edge of the box. Oh, it was Bruno Fernandes there. Shot comes in, it's deflected wide. It's going to be a corner. It was Christian Eriksen with the shot there. It is a corner to Manchester United. Another good counter attack from them. Rashford was involved again. Played the ball into the box. It's pulled back by Dalot. And it looked as though Fernandes actually took it off the foot of Casemiro, of Martial, it was coming in. But he touched it off, and in the end, it was Christian Eriksen's shot. Struck Gabriel, I think it was. It's gone behind. It is a corner to Manchester United. Mark C says So very important we drew level right after they go ahead. Now, of course it is. Yeah, that's always so important, isn't it? You know, the longer you're behind in a game, the harder it is. So it was great that we managed to get that goal so quickly. And let's hope we can hold this up. But it's a corner again to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes is going to take us over on. In fact, it's their first corner. It's not a bad corner actually, but Arsenal managed to deal with it. Where it's only come out as far as Marcus Rashford. And now Arsenal are looking for a counter attack. Eddie Nketiah inside the centre circle tried to play out to that far side. It wasn't a great ball. It was cut out by Anthony. And Manchester United have won the ball back up there. It's a free kick actually. And it's Kai Havertz who looks as though he is struggling in this game. Got to be honest, is it a confidence thing? Anyway, it is a free kick to Manchester United inside at the centre circle, which Martinez takes short to Christian Eriksen. They'll be so disappointed, Man U, won't they, for switching off straight after scoring. I mean, we've done it before ourselves, haven't we? And we managed to take advantage of it. A very, very good counter-attacking goal. A really good finish from Martin Odegaard. And I say we were behind for a minute or so, which isn't too bad, is it, I suppose? But anyway, we're now back where we started, really, aren't we, before the Man United goal. Man United now coming forward again. That's a nice touch up this near side, looking for Martial, but the ball's run out of play. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal, just near the Arsenal dugout, actually. Rajendra says concentration. Now, exactly, yeah. We just need to stay focused, don't we? In fact, the referee now, what's he doing, the referee? I'm not too sure. Anyway, it's a throw to Arsenal. Ben White's going to take on this near side. He's not in any hurry to take it, is he? Be careful he doesn't get booked. You know what the referees are like. Anyway, Arsenal do manage to get the ball forward up this near side to Bukayo Saka. Plays it into Eddie Nketiah. Gets a little bit of a ricochet there, but Man United tidied that up. It was Dallo, managed to get the ball back to Onana. Mark C says Havertz needs to be careful. He's made 2 or 3 challenges now. He could have picked up a yellow card on. Yeah, I think he's getting a little bit frustrated, isn't he? It was his mistake that gave the ball away for Man United's goal as well. And I think he is very looking frustrated, isn't he? At this moment in time, he's not managing to settle into this team at all, well, is he? But anyway, let's see. Hopefully he can grow into this game. But Man United are currently in possession. Ball switched over to this near side. Marcus Rashford keeps it in well. Good nice touch. That's a good ball through actually to Martial just on the edge of the Arsenal penalty on this near side. Twisting and turning with Gabriel for company. He is won a throw though for Manchester United. The French striker. Another player who's had time in his career that he's been linked to a move to Arsenal, hasn't he? We haven't bought too many players from Manchester United over the years, have we? Mikel Silvestre, I remember, didn't really work out too well, did it? They've, of course, bought a couple of high-profile players from us, haven't they? Of course, Robin Van Persie and Frank Staple were the 2 main ones. Viv Anderson was another one, wasn't he, who went from Arsenal to Manchester United, which I didn't like at the time because Viv Anderson was a very good player. And Arsenal were just building something. But in the end, we got Lee Dixon as a replacement. So we can't really be we can't look on it too badly now, can we? Man United, they're just slowing the game down. Christian Eriksen plays up his near side to Diogo Dalot, plays it back again to Christian Eriksen. A little bit of space. No one really closing him down. He just plays it square over to that far side to Lindelof. Mark C says, George Graham's another player. Did he go directly to Manchester? Oh, he did. Yeah, he did go from Arsenal to Manchester United, didn't he? Back in the 1970s. Yeah, you're right. I say quite a few players have moved in that direction, haven't they? Not too many have come from Manchester United to Arsenal. I say Silvestre is one that sticks in my mind, not for the best reasons, of course. He was terrible, wasn't he? Well, he did score a good goal against Tottenham, I remember, in that 4-4 draw. Do you remember that? When he scored that header from a corner. I don't know if that was his only goal for Arsenal. He certainly only scored 1 or 2, didn't he? But yeah, that one didn't work out, did it? There must have been some other players that we've signed from Man United over the years. Anyway, Anthony's now coming forward on the edge of the Arsenal player, plays it infield, looking for Martial. Good defending there, though, from William Saliba, it was. Keep forgetting William Saliba's changed his number from number 12 to number 2. Anyway, Man United now coming forward. Anthony wriggles through on the edge of the penalty. He slips over just inside the area there. He didn't claim a penalty and he had no right to either. He just lost his foot in there. In fact, the ball looked like it was going to go out. It hasn't done Oh, and there's a bit of a late challenge over on the far side there on Eddie Nketiah. And it's going to be the first yellow card of the game for Victor Lindelof, it was. Looked like the ball was maybe going to go out of play. It didn't, though. It stayed in. And Eddie Nketiah was first to react to that ball. It looked like it was going to go off. Lindelof was very slow reacting, and he suddenly realised it wasn't going to go off. He tried to get there, but Eddie was already ahead of him, and he's brought him down over on that far side. It wasn't a very tidy challenge at all, was it, actually? Mark C says that Eddie Nketiah would have been away. We would have been away, yeah. I mean, it was miles away from goal. I think a yellow card's the right decision now. I don't think that's a red, is it? Terry says Frank Stapleton was gutted when he went. Yeah, I mean, I was gutted as well at the time, but I was quite young, so maybe didn't quite understand it as much as maybe when Van Persie went. I understood the reasons, though, for that one, certainly. Anyway, there is now a free kick to Arsenal over on that far side. Stinked in towards the edge of the penalty, and not a great ball, actually. Poor free kick, in actual fact. And Man United have cleared that away fairly comfortably there. Yeah, we needed to be better with that set piece. Really put that ball in a box and put Man United defence under pressure. We didn't at all. And some of our set pieces, not just in this game, but in general, haven't been great. They Man United now on a counter-attack with Anthony, plays that ball in, looking for Martial. It ricochets off Martial, comes instead to Rashford, the goal scorer. Tries a shot from distance, but that one's always curling away. But having scored a bit earlier in this game, he fancied having another go, didn't he? So that's what he did. It maybe felt him a little bit fortunate there to ricochet off Martial and running that goal there. He lashed at that, didn't he? I don't know what Ramsdale's diving for. Anyway, it's gone behind into the North Bank. It is a goal kick to Arsenal, which actually Ben White's going to take. And he just plays it square to Aaron Ramsdale. And Man United players are staying outside the penalty, even though they're allowed in there. The goal kick's being taken anyway. Arsenal play up this near side to Ben White. Just touches it in field there to Bukayo Saka, who was pulled back by Diego Dalot. And then Bruno Fernandes has gone down in the aftermath of that. And it's going to be a yellow card for Bukayo Saka. Wow, that's a funny decision, isn't it? Bruno Fernandes obviously made the most of that, as you know he's going to do. I'm not quite sure why that's a yellow card. I mean, Saka was fouled initially by Diego Dalot. Well, mind you, yeah, you see, he's kind of thrown his leg at the ball, actually. That, you know, in fact, if they review this on VAR, that's not far away from being a red, is it? We've seen reds given for challenges like that. So maybe we're fortunate it is a yellow there. He had been fouled, Saka, and then he was overstretching for the ball. And I mean, he's only caught his ankle, so it probably wouldn't be a red anyway, would it? Because it's very low down. And maybe a yellow card was the right decision, actually. Again, you know, a couple of times there, the referee, you've thought to yourself, well, you know, it's Anthony Taylor, he's probably wrong, but actually he's got a couple of those decisions right. And I think that was the right decision as well, to give that as a yellow card for Bukayo Saka. It is a free kick to Arsenal. I know that seems strange when an Arsenal player just been given a yellow card, but it is a free kick to Arsenal because Saka was fouled initially and the referee had already blown for that free kick. Anyway, Declan Rice now in possession for Arsenal, driving forward in that familiar leggy style of his, finds Ben White on his near side, plays the ball forward, but it's cut out by Dalot, and Man United again have picked up possession. Arsenal had a bit of momentum there following the equaliser, didn't we? But we've not really pushed on from there, and the game's kind of gone back into the same pattern that it had while it was 0-0, which is Arsenal a lot of passive possession really inside the Man United half, without too much penetration really. And Man United are quite happy just to soak it up and look to try and play on a counter attack. You know, Anthony now is trying to go past Zinchenko, and he's done well. Anthony keeps possession of the ball and plays it back to Lindelof, and now Man United coming forward again, but that's a poor ball, and it's going to run through there to Aaron Ramsdale. But Mark C says there, one thing I wish players wouldn't do when one of your opponents is down injured, just bloody leave him be. Don't walk over and interact and try giving them a hand stand. No, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. Really, yeah, it seems a bit silly, doesn't it? Or get in their face and, you know, whatever, and speak to them. It's just pointless. Just get on, move away, and get on with the game. I agree. Nathan says there he's had such a poor first half. So he has. He's been really, really poor actually. You know, I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt in the previous games, but it's becoming more and more clear that it's just not working at all. Is it anyway? Gabriel Martinelli now, you watch him score now. We've just said that before half time. Cross comes in from Zinchenko. Header comes in. It wasn't quite going to reach Bukayo Saka. Good defending actually by Dalot on the far post. Ben White now for Arsenal, looking to try and get a goal before half-time. We played 42 minutes. Declan Rice plays the ball forward there for Martin Odegaard, finds Bukayo Saka on his left foot, plays it out to that far side to Martinelli again, thinks a crossing, it's deflected behind. It's another corner to Arsenal as we count down towards half-time. Terry says, come on, Nathan, you can't say that. He's Arteta's baby. I mean, I think we've all got to be honest and say that this first half has been really, really poor from Havertz. Absolutely correct. It has been. And this was the game where we were hoping he was going to really start to flourish, but it hasn't happened. It isn't happening. Anyway, this corner comes in towards the near post, but Man United again defend it well. And Man United now on a counter-attack. Christian Eriksen, it was his assist for their goal, but Arsenal will pick the ball up again, and now the referee's given a free kick for what was an earlier foul, actually. Again, I see that sensible referee, I've got to be honest. It was a foul by Arsenal on the edge of the Man United penalty area on Anthony. Man United did have the ball initially. It was Odegaard with a foul. The referee wanted the advantage to go, and as soon as the advantage didn't happen, which was in the very next phase of play, he blew for the free kick. So again, Anthony Taylor, actually, credit where it's due. He's had a good first half, the referee, to be fair. Mark C says ESR or Trossard in the second half for Havertz. What do you reckon? Well, it's not really what we think, is it? It's what Arteta's going to do. Will he take Havertz off at half time? I think that would be. Would there be much coming back from Havertz for that? Really, I don't know. Anyway, Terry says 100%. But yeah, I mean, I know Terry would like to see Havertz taken off at half time. I wouldn't be 100% surprised if it happened, but knowing Arteta, he'll want to try and give him a little bit more time, won't he? But let's see. It hasn't worked. It's almost been like playing with 10 men at times in this game, unfortunately. And you can't really afford passengers. And so it was his mistake that did lead to the Manchester United goal. And he's not really doing enough to make up for that for me. Anyway, he's trying to close down Anthony there, but Man United still have the ball played into the box. Heading across it, it's going to fall to Rashford, is it? No, it isn't. The Man United players were claiming handball there inside the penalty area. Gabriel Martinelli has just pushed off Bruno Fernandes. He wanted a free kick. The referee said no. And Arsenal now have managed to get the ball forward, but not for very long because Man United have picked it up again. Nathan says, when you pay that much for him, is there pressure on him to pay Havertz? Well, yeah, I mean, I think initially there is a pressure. You're right, because it's a lot of money, isn't it? £65 million on a player, and everybody expects him to play. You don't pay £65 million to stick a player on the bench, do you? So yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there has been pressure on him, and it's a player that Arteta wanted. Well, we say Arteta wanted, but even in pre-season, he was saying, wasn't he? He didn't know what role to play him in. He didn't know how he fitted into the team. Which seems strange with Arteta. Tends to buy players for very specific reasons, doesn't he? Because they can play a role in the team that he needs. And it seemed a little bit strange when he said that, really. So I'm not really sure. Has he been an Arteta buy? Is it a buy from the owners? And are the owners putting pressure on Arteta to keep playing him? We don't know what's going on, do we? We can only assume that that's not the case. The manager should be picking the team. And yeah, I suppose there is a certain amount of pressure on him to play him, but I don't know. It clearly isn't working, is it? Something needs to change in that regard, and maybe he needs a spell out of the team to work on things in training and integrate himself better into the team before he comes and plays in the starting 11. Maybe come off the bench a few times and have an impact rather than starting games and really not having much impact at all. Anyway, Declan Rice now pings that ball over to the far side to Gabriel Martinelli. We're going to have 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Let's see if Arsenal can get the lead. We've had to come from behind. It is 1-1, as it was at half-time last season, wasn't it, in this fixture? Martinelli now they're going around the outside again of Wan-Bissaka, and again Wan-Bissaka stops the cross. But again, Arsenal have got a corner. Terry says, yeah, defo, Nathan, especially as we paid £64,999 too much. Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but, let's... It is very early in his career, and plenty of players haven't always started great for Arsenal and have eventually became good players. So, but yeah, this first half has been really poor. We can't get away from that fact. But Arsenal have a corner now. We're into the last minute and a half of stoppage time at the end of this first half. The corner comes all the way across. That's Eddie Nketiah on the far side, lays it back to Bukayo Saka. Lets it run across him, tries a shot deflected behind from Victor Lindelof. It's another corner to Arsenal. And we've certainly had a lot of corners in this first half without really making any of them count in any big way. We haven't really created too many big chances on the back of any of these corners, have we? Let's be honest. But we've got another one here, which this time Martin Odegaard goes across with Martin. They're going to do a short one between them. Yes, they are. And it's now Erdegaard plays it back to Martin, a different angle for the cross towards the 6-yard box, headed away by Wan-Bissaka. Well, actually, and he comes out as far as Ben White, just touches the ball off to Eddie Nketiah on this near side, trying to go around the outside, plays the ball in field, back to Declan Rice. It's come off the Manchester United player. It's going to be a throw to Arsenal. Quickly taken, a little bit too quickly maybe, but Martinez is across, dealt with that. It's going to be a corner to Arsenal. We are ending this first half on top. We've got 30 seconds left of this stoppage time at the end of the first half. Another corner to Arsenal, which Bukayo Saka is going to take on this near side. Are Arsenal going to get the lead just before half time? You'd imagine this corner is going to be the last action of this first half. Bukayo Saka is going to take this corner. Can Arsenal get the goal? Comes in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed back across the goal. Was it Kai Havertz there? Won the header, couldn't get it back across the goal. And in fact, there goes the half-time whistle. That was the last action of the first half. It is Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Arsenal dominated the possession for much of that game, but went behind midway through that first half. It was a counter-attack. Arsenal gave the ball away in midfield, and Christian Eriksen played it through to Marcus Rashford. It was a good finish, a slight deflection, but a good finish from Rashford, who tends to score against us every year. But straight away, straight from the kickoff, we got the ball over on that far side. Gabriel Martinelli pulled the ball back to the edge of the penalty area, and Martin Odegaard fired home to make it 1-1. The rest of the first half really followed a similar pattern, with Manchester United happy to let Arsenal have the ball, sit back and try and look for a counter-attack. There wasn't really too many opportunities after the 2 goals, and it is half-time at the Emirates, and it's all square and all to play for still in this second half, which is fair enough, isn't it? Nathan says that the question is, he can't actually be moulded into a player Arteta can use. He is not a CM. In my opinion, he is best at playing off the strike. I'd agree with that, yeah. That would mean changing the formation to suit one player. And he ain't. Well, you say that, but I mean, he's kind of changed it a little bit, didn't he, to get Havertz into midfield by moving Partey to right back. That didn't really work, which, you know, we know Partey's not really a right back. So, I don't know, really. And Nathan says he ain't good enough to justify that. No, but he's done it already with the Thomas Partey situation. And today, he's got Havertz more in that Granit Xhaka role, which isn't working. It isn't working. Is it not working because of Kai Havertz? Is it not working because of the system? Is it not working because of the players around him? I'm not really sure, but there's absolutely no question that it hasn't worked in that first half, has it? He's not had any impact at all. He gave the ball away to lead to their goal. He's done not enough. He doesn't look as though he does enough work off the ball either, does he? Let's be honest. And this has been a theme that we've seen from him. And I think maybe it might be best for him. Arteta has spoken about his confidence issue, that maybe he's a bit low on confidence. So maybe it's time to get him out of the team, you know, with the upcoming international break. This could be a good time to, you know, get him out of the spotlight maybe a little bit. Mark C says 8 corners. Was it 8 corners? Really? We didn't have a lot, didn't we? Steve says that's poor, 8 corners, no score. Not even no score. We didn't even create a really good opportunity from one of them corners, did we? Terry says, well, that was riveting. I'm assuming that's sarcasm. Terry says, I think Havertz would be better off at a different club. Well, I mean, yeah, potentially. We don't know, do we? I still think it's a little bit early, 3.5 games in, to really judge him. All we can say is he's not played particularly well today at all, and he hasn't played brilliant in any of the other games either, really, has he? So he's struggling a little bit, let's be honest. And he's an Arsenal player, and we should try to get behind him a little bit if we can, and try to encourage him rather than, you know, just knock him down. But let's be honest, it isn't working. And so far, you've got to say, is he good enough? The evidence we've seen so far, no. We're missing Granit Xhaka more than I think a lot of people expected that we would. But he's not that same type of player, is he? If you're going to replace Granit Xhaka with a Granit Xhaka type of player, is what you need to do, don't you? Not replacing with someone who's a completely different player and expect it to work. Is it an idea Arteta's had in his head, like some of these ideas that he's come up with in the last couple of years that don't really work? I'm not sure. But yeah, to me, if you're going to replace a player like Granit Xhaka, you buy a player like Granit Xhaka to do that job instead of buying someone who's a completely different player, not suited to that role. We've got Mark in the chat here. Mark, good to see you, my friend. He said, hi, Jez. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. As Terry mentioned before, not the greatest of first halves of football, was it? A lot of negative, sideways, backwards, passing, which is not great to watch, is it? But it's all to play for in the second half. Let's hope the second half really catches fire. We had a little bit of a lively spell in the middle of that half, didn't we? Where the 2 goals were scored. But other than that, Terry says cancel his contract like they're going to end up doing to Pepe. Well, yeah, I mean, at least Pepe's been here, I suppose, long enough for the decision to have been made. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's something that, I mean, this is, for me, the job of a manager is to get the best out of your players that you've got available to you. That's what you've got to do. That's your job as a manager and a coach, isn't it? And this is really where Arteta has got to be able to do that, hasn't he? He's got to be able to find a way to make it work. I mean, if he wanted Havertz, he's wanted Havertz. So if that's the case, then what he's got to do is he's got to find a way to make it work, because that's his job at the end of the day. And he's not done that enough, as he with some of his other players. You mentioned Pepe, you're right. He didn't manage to find a way to get the best out of Nicolas Pepe. He didn't manage to find a way to get the best out of Aubameyang or Lacazette or Mesut Ozil. Players are much better than Kai Havertz as well, aren't they? So yeah, it's one of them, isn't it, where I don't know, we just got, I mean, that's a terrible ball actually from Havertz, so it's led to the goal from Man United actually. You see that again, it's an absolutely terrible ball. And he's made the we've been made to punish, haven't we, for that mistake. Regenda says there, Terry, any positive points? I mean, it's difficult to find too many positive points about that first half, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, I don't think we should focus too much time on Havertz, really. We can see he's struggling. And I'm not sure if he will come back out for the second half anyway. Who would we bring on, though? Would it be Fabio Vieira, who had such a big impact last week from the bench? Again, I think Ramsdale could have done better with that goal, actually. We look at it from behind the goal. It wasn't deflected. His positioning wasn't that great. And he should have done better there, actually, I think so. But anyway, so would it be Fabio Vieira comes on? Would it be Emile Smith-Rowe that comes on? Or would it be potentially Jorginho? If we are going to take Havertz off, that's going to be an interesting one to think of, isn't it? For me, Fabio Vieira would be the most likely one, just because of how well he played last week for a start off. He deserves that opportunity, doesn't he, to come on. Terry says, Nathan says, I do not understand. He signs Havertz, but then admits that he does not know his best. But exactly, yeah, that's what I found strange, especially with Arteta, because he's very particular about the players that he wants and the players that he needs and where they're going to fit into his system. So yeah, that really surprised me at the time. And I thought, well, maybe he knows really, and he's just saying that. I don't know, but the fact that ultimately it looks as though he doesn't really know what to do with him. But for £65 million, you've got to play him, haven't you? Terry says, yes, we ain't losing at half time, play with 10 men. Well, yeah, I suppose I'll look at it. Steve says, we are not down at half time, only positive. Well, it's one of the only positives. Nathan says, surely that would be in your thinking prior to making a sign. Yeah, you and I say, especially with Arteta, because he's very, very particular with the type of players that he wants and the type of players that he can work with. They've got to fit his system. So that's been one of the reasons why so many players we've had to get rid of, because they haven't fitted his system and they haven't fitted his way of playing. So, yeah, I find that quite strange, if I'm honest, how this has come about in the first place. But anyway, the fact of the matter is we've got Kai Havertz now. We've paid a lot of money for him, and we're going to see him playing some football for us. And that's the way it is, isn't it? Because you're not going to pay all that money for a player and not play him at all. So we're going to see him play. Whether or not we're going to see him in the second half is a matter that we're going to come to very, very shortly when teams come back out. But yeah, not a great first half from either side, to be honest. And both of these two teams, you can tell, have both come into this game looking not at their best, shall we say. And I think that first half kind of shows that, really. Neither team played that well, did they? But there's nothing to choose between it, and a win for either team will be massive, won't it? Mark C says, Lindelof on a yellow, got to get Eddie on him and force him into a one-on-one situations. Yeah, I mean, that'd be ideal, wouldn't it? But Eddie's not really had much impact in this first half either, has it, to be honest? Not really. Steve says their teams played better with 10 v Arsenal. Well, I mean, some of them do. I wouldn't necessarily say Fulham played well with 10 last week. We just sat back and allowed them to come onto us, didn't we? It's not that they played particularly better. We just made it too easy for them. So, but anyway, let's see. Yeah, I mean, obviously there is a yellow card there, so that's an issue. Bukayo Saka's on the yellow cards. Well, was they the only two yellow cards, actually? I think they were, weren't they? Let's just check the. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll check the stats, shall we? We will check the stats, and let's have a look at the full match stats in that first half. Then, so actually, Man United had 55% possession to Arsenal's 45%, but that will be because most of Man United's possession was literally their goalkeeper and back four, wasn't it? You know, they didn't really have too much in our half, did they? Now, Arsenal have had only one shot on target, which was the goal, and 8 shots off target, actually, which is interesting, isn't it? So that was Arsenal's. And the Man United had one shot on target as well, their goal, and only 2 shots off target. So not a lot of shots from them. And Arsenal, have 8 corners. And Man United just had that one corner, which was a deflected shot, wasn't it? Which went behind for a corner. So let's have a look at the yellow card situation. So Saka is the only one on the yellow card for Arsenal so far. And for Manchester United, it's just Lindelof. They're the only 2 yellow cards. We do maybe need to get Eddie isolated on there with Lindelof and see what happens there. But them getting a player sent off doesn't necessarily always lead, as we saw last week, to the positive result for Arsenal, does it? Nathan says that theoretically, if it was not Arteta who signed Havertz, what would be the thinking behind that? If the plan is to push for the title, signing a player that the manager is not going to get a tune out of, is not exactly great. I don't know. I agree. I mean, we saw that. You know, we mentioned Nicolas Pepe already, and Nicolas Pepe wasn't a player that Unai Emery wanted to sign. The club paid a lot of money because of the deal that we could get, and it never worked. And that was always going to be the case. Now, I don't think that when you look at what's happened since Mikel Arteta has been at Arsenal, it's almost like he's been allowed to sign the players that he wants. So I would be amazed if this signing wasn't a player that Mikel Arteta wanted, because all the other signings that we've made, you imagine. I mean, I think the only 2 maybe were the 2 Americans, Matt Turner and Austin Trusty. I don't think either of those 2 are Arteta signings. They were just by the American owners because they're American players to try to get the American audience maybe over to Arsenal, perhaps. They certainly wasn't players that Mikel Arteta wanted. You could tell that he never played Austin Trusty at all. And I mean, Matt Turner only got brief appearances, even in the Europa League and stuff. You'd imagine that's what he would have played in. He hardly ever played in them either, did he? So clearly he didn't want those 2 players. But we didn't pay a lot of money for them, did we? So I think that's different. You know, with Havertz, it's a lot of money. And that isn't the type of player generally. I know Arsenal did it with Nicolas Pepe, but we had a different regime then. And I don't think under this current regime of Edu and Mikel Arteta that we would do that. We would buy a player for that much money that the manager didn't want. I don't believe we've done that. But it's a strange one, isn't it? Looking at the way he kind of stands out a lot. One, because he's quite tall, isn't he? And distinctive looking. His style of play is very laid back, but he does stand out a lot, doesn't he? Because he just doesn't fit in with all the other players around him. And you can kind of see what Mikel Arteta has done. And, you know, whether you are a big fan of what Mikel Arteta is doing or you're not, I think it's obvious. And, you know, I've not made any secret of the fact that I haven't been his biggest fan. It's obvious that, you know, he's bought players to fit a certain system, and you can see that those players fit what he wants. Whether it's enough to get us where we want to go, I still don't believe it will be. But anyway, at least you can see that working. And Kai Havertz has come in, and he stands out because he doesn't fit into that system at all, does he? He just looks like a spare part. And that's not his fault. I don't think it's his fault. I think that's the reason why, which does make the signing of it even more strange when you actually see it, because it doesn't make sense, does it? But anyway, you know, we've got him now. We've paid a lot of money for him. We're not gonna be getting rid of him anytime soon, are we? So it is a strange. I would like to know exactly what's going on with that, if I'm honest. So maybe one day it will come out, a bit like Nicolas Pepe situation did. But yeah, very strange. Mark C says Saka and Lindelof, but yeah, they're the only 2 booked. Yeah, you're right. So let's see. I'm sure there'll be more bookings in the second half. You do tend to get more bookings in the second half of a game, don't you? The referees don't tend to be quite as tolerant and patient with decisions, with challenges, do they? In the second half of a game than they do in the first half. So I'm sure we'll see a few more yellow cards coming in at the second half. Anyway, just to let you know, I will be on Talk TV again tonight after this game. Well, not at 7:20 actually, with Mark Saggers. That's going to be good. Looking forward to that. So I'm going on there about 7:20 on Talk TV. So if you're around, tune into that. You'll see me there chatting about this game. hopefully there'll be a little bit more to chat about after this game than just Kai Havertz, although I'm sure Kai Havertz will be mentioned in the course of the show there. So, yeah, I'll be on there at 7:20 this evening. So, yeah, join me for that if you can. That will be good. Now, there's Adam can't make the Arsenal review show on Tuesday, unfortunately, because he's busy this week. So now I was going to step in and host it and do the show myself, but unfortunately, I'm actually busy on Tuesday now. I forgot I've got something planned, so I'm not going to be able to do it. I was going to move it to Monday, but it seems Monday's not really convenient for any guests to come on, so we may well be missing out on the Arsenal review show this week. We'll see. If I can manage to squeeze one in, I will. But yeah, it's not looking great at the minute for that particular show. But don't worry, because on Friday, actually, no, I can't do the show on Friday, can I? I was going to be doing an Arsenal women's show because the Arsenal women are actually on Wednesday. It's too early to do a watch-along, unfortunately, in the Champions League qualifier against Linköping. So we were going to do a show on Friday, but I've just remembered I'm doing a race, a 5K race, the Great North 5K on Friday. So, although I haven't said that, it starts at 6. It's not going to take me very long to do it. Could be back by. So, yeah, we may do the show maybe a bit later than on Friday. We'll see. The Arsenal women's show, of course, the first one of the new season. Well, we may do it maybe next week instead. Anyway, we'll worry about that a bit later on. Nathan says their thoughts on Rice signing so far. Very, very good. I mean, obviously too much money. We know that, but he's been great. I think he's been a really good signing. He's a great player, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he develops through the course of the season. But yeah, I'm really excited about that side. And yeah, he's been good, very good, if expensive. Well, Kai Havertz is coming out for the second half. I've just seen him in the tunnel, so he hasn't been hooked at half time. I'd say it's given him a little bit more time, and I think that's maybe a good decision in terms of man management. I've criticised his man management before of players, but I think that's sensible man management, if I'm honest, giving him a little bit more time to try and make an impact. Zinchenko is talking to him there on the pitch. I know Zinchenko is a bit of a character, isn't he? Mark C says there don't look like any change. No, it doesn't look like any changes. No, I think maybe that's sensible. It's only 1-1, isn't it? Let's be honest. We're not losing the game. We haven't got to chase the game or anything like that. We can make some substitutions later on when we need to really change things. At this moment in time, I don't think we need to panic, do we? Too much yet. Anyway, we are just about to start the second half. It's going to be Arsenal kicking off. We are taking the goal to our left in the second half, which is, of course, at the North Bank. For those familiar with the Emirates, I'm sure you all are. And Eddie Nketiah plays the ball back to Aaron Ramsdale. He's going to go long up this near side. We know exactly what Arsenal are going to do because we've done it so many times. And Declan Rice wins that second header, but Arsenal can't find a ball forward, and it's just bouncing around in the midfield at the minute. Man United do pick up possession with Christian Eriksen. It was his ball that led to the goal. And now Declan Rice again has picked up the ball for Arsenal, plays it back to Zinchenko, and he lays it off to William Saliba. Zinchenko again, who's almost playing in a defensive midfield position at this moment, where, of course, he likes to drift into, doesn't he? Of course, it does leave a massive, massive gap. So we'll see. Anyway, Zinchenko now bringing the ball forward for Arsenal, plays it to Havertz on this near side. Just does a simple thing, gets the ball, plays it back to Gabriel, and he plays it back to William Saliba. We've played a minute of the second half. Nothing's really happened yet. We're just giving the ball away. And Manchester United now look to come forward there. Zinchenko now wins the ball back. Man United claiming a free kick. It's not given. And now Arsenal got a chance with Martin Odegaard over on that far side. Finds Bukayo Saka over in the last little bit of sunshine. Over that far side, plays the ball up line to Ben White, puts a cross in, but it's too close to goalkeeper Onana. Just plucks that one out of the air without too much fuss. But that was a better counter-attack there from Arsenal. We picked the ball up, got it forward up that far side. Martin Odegaard found Bukayo Saka, Ben White on that overlap. It was an okay cross. It was far too close to the goalkeeper though, wasn't it? And he easily managed to deal with that one, didn't he? Anyway, Man United now looking to come forward themselves up his near side. Wan-Bissaka finds Bruno Fernandes into Eriksen, exchanges passes there with Anthony, and Manchester United just keeping possession of the ball as they did in that first half in their own half of the pitch. They're doing it again at the start of the second half as well. It's with Martinez now, plays it back to goalkeeper Onana. Put a bit of pressure there from Martin Odegaard, but again he doesn't panic, does he? Man United goalkeeper just lays it off. Man United now actually have worked this pretty well, but it's Anthony tries a little back heel when he just needed to try and get hold of the ball, and Arsenal win possession again. It's now back with Aaron Ramsdale. It hasn't been the most riveting of games. It hasn't been. There's no question about that. It got a bit lively midway through that first half, didn't it, with those 2 quick goals? But other than that, there hasn't been an awful lot to get excited about, has there, in this game so far? Terry says, I think I've been shouting too much. The old woman just brought the popcorn in. Good stuff. Well, you could have a bit of popcorn watching the football, couldn't it? You know, Arsenal are in possession now with William Saliba, plays out to the far side to Ben White. And Ben White just lays the ball back to William Saliba again. And now it's with Gabriel. Trying to bring it forward. Kai Havertz is just outside him on this near side. He goes infield instead to William Saliba. Dinks a long ball up this near side for Martinelli. Tries to flick it on, actually looking for the runner, Kai Havertz. It wasn't a great ball, actually, for Martinelli. And it's gone out for a throw, though, to Arsenal. Wonder what Mikel Arteta said at half-time to Kai Havertz in particular, but to the team in general, because it hasn't quite worked, has it? We've not moved the ball quickly enough in that final third. And I think that's been our issue a little bit in this game. You know, Man United lose the ball there again. Out of the pressure, Martin Odegaard. Good tackle on him there, though, in the middle of midfield there from Casemiro. But that's a good ball to Martinelli on that far side. Couldn't quite get the cross in. In fact, it looked like it had come off Martinez for a corner, but it's actually a goal kick. It must have come back off Martinelli. The 2 South Americans there. Brazil against Argentina. No love lost there, certainly. And again, I think the referee's got that one right. It did look like it did come back off Gabriel Martinelli. And it's a goal kick to Manchester United, which Onana has taken. Goes long, but it's a good header from Declan Rice. Martin Odegaard now picks it up in midfield, finds Bukayo Saka over on that far side. 49.5 minutes played at the Emirates. It's still Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Can Arsenal find a goal to go in front in this game? We had to come from behind already to get ourselves level. Can we find a way of getting ourselves in front as we move into this second half? Zinchenko now in possession for Arsenal. Plays the ball forward. That's a poor ball, actually. Aaron Wan-Bissaka easily cuts it out. And a little swivel there from Bruno Fernandes. Runs into trouble there. And now Arsenal can come forward. Eddie Nketiah had nothing in front of him, so played it back to Zinchenko. That's a better ball. Finds Martin Odegaard as a run. Martin Odegaard tries a shot. Blocked by Martinez. And it's going to go out for a throw to Arsenal over on that far side. Arsenal starting to turn the screw a little bit now. We've played 5.5 minutes of the second half. Ben White is going to take this throw in the sunshine. The last little bit of sunshine left in the ground, actually, just over on that far side. Well, on the pitch, certainly. It's still shining in the face of the fans over in the West End. Cross comes in from Ben White's edge of the 6-yard box. And Wan-Bissaka's there with a header. He's going to try and keep it in, but it's going to be a throw there. Gabriel Martinelli just let the ball run behind. And Arsenal got a throw in line with the mentioned penalty as Zinchenko takes it to Martinelli, gets it back again. Alexander Zinchenko plays the ball square to midfield to William Saliba. Touches it off to Martin Odegaard. Tried to thread the ball through there. It was cut out straight away there by Christian Eriksen. And now Christian Eriksen's got a little bit of space over on that far side. If he can keep this ball in, he slips over and he can't keep it in because of that reason. And Arsenal going to get a throw. A bit lucky there, maybe, that he slipped over because that was an opportunity for maybe to launch a counter-attack there, actually. Now Declan Rice in possession for Arsenal. Plays the ball back to Zinchenko. And this game is now getting back to the similar pattern of that first half, isn't it? Ben White over on that far side. Plays the ball back to William Saliba. Forward to Declan Rice, midway inside the Manchester United half. Lays the ball off over on that far side to Ben White. Comes back again to William Saliba. William Saliba plays it square to Gabriel. Just touches it off to Zinchenko. Arsenal with a lot of safe possession now. Kai Havertz on this near side. Again, he just plays it simple. He does seem to be lacking confidence on the ball, doesn't he? Zinchenko now plays a long ball through, looking for Kai Havertz. Now it's with Martinelli. Martinelli's going to have a little run again at this Manchester United defence, but he's overhit that, and Wan-Bissaka's there with a good tackle. He's going to be a throw to Arsenal. That's been a good battle in this game, hasn't it? Martinelli against Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Martinelli's had his moments against him, but the Man United defender has actually done well for the most part. And he's done well again there. The English right back is going to be a throw though to Arsenal, again in line with the Man United penalty area. Zinchenko is going to take it. His name just about fits on the back of his shirt, doesn't it? In one go, a lot of letters. And Zinchenko's surname, of course. That's a long throw to Arsenal there. Kai Havertz inside the area, pulls it back to Eddie Nketiah. Tries a shot instantly, but it's blocked by Victor Lindelof. It comes out only as far as William Saliba. Arsenal now putting the pressure on Manchester United. Can we find this goal? That could be so important. This laid off there by Bukayo Saka to William Saliba. Tried to thread the ball through, but he's overhit that. Not quite sure what he was trying there, actually, but it's gone behind for a goal kick anyway to Manchester United. And we've played 53 and a half minutes. There's been no change to the personnel and no change to the scoreline in this second half. Man United now they're coming forward with Leandro Martinez, plays the ball forward to Christian Eriksen. Little ball in, gets it back again, Eriksen. Now this is Bruno Fernandes. Suddenly Man United inside the penalty marshal from a tight angle. Good save from Ramsdale. Shot comes in. Oh, and it's been deflected wide from Marcus Rashford. That was a big chance there for Manchester United to take the lead. It was Martial's shot. It was pushed away at the near post by Aaron Ramsdale. It came back to Marcus Rashford. And, oh, it was going in. It hit Ben White, actually. And it was Man United corner, which they've taken quickly over on that far side. The ball is now with Casemiro inside the penalty. Casemiro's shot's deflected again off Ben White, I think it was. And suddenly Man United are having a spell of possession. Just as it looked as though Arsenal were getting on top of this game. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka now bringing it forward. Very central position for him. Plays it out to this near side to Anthony, number 21 for Manchester United. And that was a big chance there for United to take the lead for the second time in this game. But now Arsenal can come forward themselves with Eddie Nketiah. Goes past Lindelof. Cuts inside. He's done well, Eddie Nketiah. But the referee says, did he say the ball had gone out of play? Is it going to be a throw to Manchester United? And Man United preparing a substitute, maybe. Rasmus Højlund, of course, their new signing, the Danish striker. Are we going to see him today in the squad for the very first time? Rasmus Højlund, one of Manchester United's summer signings, of course. Anyway, Arsenal now pick the ball up with Ben White, with Declan Rice finds Gabriel Martinelli on his near side. Gabriel Martinelli pings that cross in there. In fact, Eddie Nketiah has done well to hold that up. It's back with Martinelli again on his near side. Goes to the byline, pulls across back. There's no Arsenal player there. And Manchester United can easily clear that away. It was Dalot, it was, with that piece of defending there. Suddenly the game's opened up a little bit, actually, now. There's been opportunities at both ends now at the start of this second half. 55 minutes played. It is still Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. Martin Odegaard now lays it off to Bukayo Saka. Decent challenge on in there from Martinez, but the ball breaks to Declan Rice for Arsenal. Declan Rice looking for a pass. He finds Zinchenko square. Zinchenko plays up to Martinelli again on this near side. Again, he's faced with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And again, Aaron Wan-Bissaka wins that particular challenge, but it is going to be another corner to Arsenal. Well into double figures now for corners, Arsenal, without really doing an awful lot with too many of them, you have to say. But it only takes one, doesn't it? One decent corner, one decent header, and Arsenal will be in front. And you do feel if we get in front, we are probably going to go on and win this game. Man United haven't really offered too much goal threat going forward, have they, other than the goal that they scored and that one chance at the start of this second half. Saka out the near post, Eddie Nketiah looking to twist and turn, finds Ben White, plays it out to that far side. Bukayo Saka finds William Saliba. Going to try a shot from the edge of the box. Nice feet from William Saliba. Thought about a shot, changed his mind, and maybe he should have done because the ball to Gabriel Martinelli wasn't the best, and Bruno Fernandes has managed to cut it out. Just as he cut inside there, it opened up a little bit. You're thinking, oh, is this an opportunity for William Saliba? He's got a couple of goals for Arsenal, hasn't he? One particularly good one away at Bournemouth at the start of last season. Anyway, Bruno Fernandes has just conceded a free kick for a foul on Gabriel Martinelli out right over on that near touchline, Arsenal's left. And it was a foul. He's complaining, Bruno Fernandes, but he's not really got much to complain about with that one, has he? It was a pretty clear foul. But Arsenal got a free kick now, which is like a corner in a position that it's in, slightly more central. So maybe a better angle for this corner, for this free kick, sorry, than it would be a corner. Gabriel Martinelli is going to take this free kick for Arsenal. 57 minutes on the clock. Can Arsenal find a breakthrough? Gabriel Martinelli with the free kick. Played in towards the near post, flipped back when nobody's there for Arsenal. It's cleared away by Manchester United. There's no Man United player in Arsenal's half, so Aaron Ramsdale on halfway, got plenty of time, plays the ball off to William Saliba out to that far side. With Ben White, he goes back again to William Saliba. 58 minutes played. Declan Rice now has a run forward. Links up with Eddie Nketiah, plays it through to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz in the area. Oh, he's brought down by Wan-Bissaka. Referee points to the spot. And I don't think this is going to get overturned. Arsenal got a penalty. Kai Havertz, it is who's won it. Is this a big moment for him in his Arsenal career? The Man United players are wagging fingers and saying no. He went between two defenders there, Kai Havertz. And it looked as though Wan-Bissaka it was who caught him. Let's have a look at the replay. He stepped across him. I think that's definitely a penalty. Don't think that's going to get overturned at all. Actually, I don't know. You look at it again. He did dangle his leg a little bit. Did he actually catch him? Let's have a look. Oh, I'm not sure if he did, you know. At first it looked like a clear penalty, but suddenly you look at the replay and you're thinking he did dangle his leg a little bit, Wan-Bissaka. And it looks as though I don't know if there was much contact there at all, actually. Is there enough contact for that to be a penalty? We're going to have VAR checking it. He stepped across him, and it looks as though Kai Havertz's trailing leg has hit Wan-Bissaka, and that's what's knocked him over. Oh, I don't know. I think this might get overturned. It's a big moment in this game, actually, whatever it's going to be. Wow. This is an interesting one. It's difficult to say either way, you know. At first look, it looks like a clear penalty, but when you see the replay, he hasn't really made any contact with Kai Havertz at all. And in fact, they've told the referee to go to the screen. They've told the referee to go to the screen. This often means they think he's made a mistake. I don't think it's a clear mistake. Let's see what the referee, Anthony Taylor, makes of this when he looks at the screen. This is a big moment in this game as we hit the hour mark. Are Arsenal going to have a penalty, or is it not going to be a penalty? There didn't seem to be an awful lot of contact when you look at the replay. You have to say he's knocked the ball past him. He hasn't really touched him, and then Kai Havertz's leg's gone into him. See, I think this is going to get overruled. I've got to be honest. I think it's going to get overruled. Anthony Taylor, what's he given? He says no penalty. He's overruled it. And again, you have to say he's probably got another one right. When you look at the replay, at first it looked a clear penalty, didn't it? But when you look at the replay, he didn't really touch him, did he? He didn't really make any contacts at all. And if anything, Havertz's leg has touched against Wan-Bissaka's leg. As Casemiro's come across and didn't really have anything to do there. Nathan says, you know what that means? Yeah, we know what it means. Terry says, Havertz can't even cheat. Well, I don't think he was trying to cheat. I mean, there was contact, but it was more his leg on the defender's leg, wasn't it? I mean, it's a talking point in this game because there hasn't been too many. But again, I think Anthony Taylor's got that one right. I've got to be honest. If that, again, I always look at them the same way. If that penalty was given against us, I would be absolutely fuming, saying, well, he's not even really touched him, has he? So you've got to say, if that's the case, when it's given for you, that it's probably the right decision. But at least that was something positive from Havertz. So running at defenders. Mark C says there, why didn't he book Havertz? Well, it wasn't a dive, was it? It wasn't a dive. Wan-Bissaka went to put his leg out, didn't really touch him, and then Kai Havertz's leg has touched Wan-Bissaka's leg and it's knocked him over. I don't think it's a dive. I don't think it's a foul either, and I don't think it was a penalty, but I don't think it's a dive. But anyway, it was again, I have to say, well done, Anthony Taylor. It's gone against us, but you have to say it's the right decision. That's what we want, don't we? We want VAR to be making the right decisions in games. Whether or not we agree with them or not is irrelevant, isn't it? We want the right decisions. That's what it should be for. Too often, they haven't made the right decisions, VAR. They haven't come to the right decision, but they have today, and they have on that particular one. And we have to give them credit for it. Anyway, Arsenal still coming forward now. Martin Odegaard looking for another shot, a goal on the edge of the box. Can he get the shot away? He had a chance, delayed it, and then the final effort's too close there to the goalkeeper, Onana. And now Man United have got a counter-attack. Suddenly the game's livened up. That's a good ball around the outside for Marcus Rashford, faced with William Saliba. And suddenly the game's getting a little bit stretched. But Man United now looking to try to get back into the lead. Marcus Rashford right over on that far side, plays the ball back again to Eriksen. Nathan says it might just be me, but I think Saka has been really quiet. He hasn't had a massive impact on the game. I would agree with you. He's not done anything wrong particularly. He just hasn't really caught fire in the game, has he? But it's been like that most of this season, really. Man United were looking to come forward there, but that was well cut out there by Gabriel. Plays this ball up the line to Martinelli. Can he keep it in? He has kept it in. Really good play that was from Gabriel Martinelli. And now Kai Havertz has gone around the outside. Martinelli doesn't use him when maybe he should have done. And he plays that ball instead to the far post, and he should have used Kai Havertz. And Kai Havertz put his arm up in frustration. He made a great run there. Anyway, Saka now over on that far side. Arsenal still in possession. Wasn't actually the best ball for Martin Odegaard, but he's managed to get it under control. Finds Ben White right over on that far side. So we've had a big talking point, haven't we? Terry says, yes, agree, Nathan. 2 goes on the trot. Yeah, I don't think he's had a great start to the season, actually, Bukayo Saka, if you're honest. Anyway, Gabriel now finds Zinchenko. We're almost coming up to the midway point in this second half. It is still Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1, and the game really is a very similar pattern to the first half. Martin Odegaard trying to battle around the edge of the box, but he loses out, and now Manchester United can come forward on the counter-attack. It's Anthony Martial plays the ball forward to that danger man, Marcus Rashford, who's got some sort of sign over Arsenal running forward again, but that was a poor ball. Easily cut out by William Saliba, and now Arsenal trying to come forward on a counter-attack. Eddie Nketiah was taken out, but Arsenal have got a possession of the ball. I'm sure there's going to be a yellow card. I'm not sure it was who made that foul. But anyway, Martin Odegaard still got the ball. Martinelli's a little bit free here. Kai Havertz turns, finds Zinchenko. Zinchenko lies up across towards the far post. It's headed behind. It's going to be a corner to Arsenal from Bruno Fernandes. And the yellow card comes out. Was it Bruno Fernandes who committed that foul? Or was it Martinez? I think it might have been Martinez, actually. We'll have a look now at the replay. Yeah, it was Martinez. He was very late on Eddie Nketiah. Martinez becomes the second Manchester United player to be booked in this game. His central defensive partner, Lindelof, has also been booked. And Martinez has now gone down, injured. Mark C says that's a yellow for Martinez. Indeed, it is a yellow for Martinez. And, in fact, he may well be injured, which means Harry Maguire might be coming on. Well, not Johnny Evans, who's back at Manchester United. It is, in fact, Harry Maguire who is coming on. Now, is that going to be a good thing for Arsenal? Because we know he's got a mistake or two in him, hasn't he, Harry Maguire? He's just getting himself prepared to come on. And it looks as though that yellow card for Martinez is going to actually be his last involvement in the game due to an injury that he's picked up in making that foul. Nathan says that this game is there for the taking, just need to find that bit of quality in the final third. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely there for the taking. It's been there for the taking from the start, hasn't it? But equally, Man United will probably feel the same, that it's there for the taking for them as well, isn't it? Anyway, Man United make another sub in the meantime. It's going to be Martial coming off, and we're going to see Rasmus Højlund, who's coming on for his Manchester United debut. 66 minutes played. Martial didn't really have that much impact in this game, did he? Had one chance, of course, which was a good save from Aaron Ramsdale in the second half, but it is going to be Rasmus Højlund coming on. Of course, some comparisons already with someone with a similar name from a similar part of the world, but of course, this guy isn't Erling Haaland, thankfully. He is Rasmus Højlund, and he is coming on to play up front for Manchester United for the final 25 minutes of this game. Is he going to make the big impact for them? And Harry Maguire's coming on as well for Martinez, who had to go off injured. So a change at both ends of the pitch for Manchester United. We've got Bargav in the chat. My friend, good to see you again. He says, what's up with our possession football? Well, I mean, I don't know. That's what we're doing without really doing anything with it. Anyway, we've got a corner now. And Man United have had to reorganise their defence. This could be a good opportunity for us to get the goal that we've been looking for in the second half. The corner's over on that far side, so it is Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard who are over the ball. Again, it goes short into Martin Odegaard, comes back to Saka, gets a better angle, plays edge of the box. Gabriel Martinelli with a shot. Oh, just wide of that post. Anana at full stretch. Just wide there. Slightly different corner routine. Fell to Martinelli. Good shot. It was curling. I think the goalie maybe just had it covered if it was going to drop in that bottom corner. I don't know if he did actually. It was a good effort. Just curled wide. Nathan says so close it was. Mark says so close. Yeah, it was. It was a good effort that. Just curled away. And in fact, the goalkeeper is now going to be booked to Nana for wasting time at this goal kick. And we've seen what happens with time wasting yellow cards, haven't we? They come back to haunt players in games recently. Bargab says that Saka and Eddie have not played well. Odegaard minus the goal has been pretty passive. No, I agree. I don't think we've played that well in this game. We've played okay, but yeah, it's not been a great Arsenal performance, has it? The passing has been very passive, as you mentioned there. I agree. We're trying to come forward now with Eddie over on that far side, looking at a battle there with Lindelof. Keeps the ball though, finds Bukayo Saka. He lays it off to Williams, leaving that Zinchenko inside at the centre circle. Zinchenko finds Martinelli on this near side. Gabriel Martinelli plays it back again to Gabriel. Now he finds Declan Rice inside at the centre circle. Plays it forward to Eddie Nketiah. Plays it out to the far side. Ben White again in possession for Arsenal. Just goes back again though, and Arsenal keeping possession but not really getting the ball anywhere near the Manchester United penalty area or goal. But now Kai Havertz got a little bit of space on this near side, running at that Man United defence, just plays it out to Martinelli instead. Doesn't want to take too much responsibility, Kai Havertz, does he? Plays it back though to Zinchenko. It's into the box to Kai Havertz, lays it off to Martinelli again, cross towards the far post, but it's over hit. And it's gone behind for a goal kick as we come down towards the last 20 minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. It is Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1. A game that hasn't really buzzed around like previous Manchester United meetings that we've become used to over the years of the Premier League. Man United looking to come forward. Højlund getting his first opportunity to try and run in behind Gabriel. Good defending by the Brazilian. And Arsenal pick up possession. Gabriel again. I think he was quite ready for that ball and just got off his feet. But Arsenal did manage to keep it in there. No, they don't. It's gone out. It's going to be a free kick. Bargab says, how much time do you think Jesus has in him before his knee flares? Well, let's hope he has a lot of time in him because we're going to need him, aren't we? There is an international break, of course, coming up after this run of fixtures. So any little injuries, well, if they go on international duty, they probably won't get a chance to sort them out, will they? Anyway, Man United now are coming forward and Højlund's inside the area, but Gabriel, strong defending there by Gabriel again. He wins a free kick as Højlund was looking to try to get round the back and get his first goal-scoring opportunity in a Manchester United shirt. Their big money striker that they've just brought in this summer. His debut, of course, today for them. Ramsdale now goes long up this near side, headed on though by Wan-Bissaka. It was a decent game actually at right back for Manchester United today. They're coming for Bruno Fernandes, just touches the ball off to Eriksen, lays it in to Marcus Rashford. Rashford gets it back again. The Manchester United goal scorer, as he so often is against Arsenal, finds the ball over on that far side to Dalot. Now it's Bruno Fernandes, dinks the ball over to his near side. It's Anthony chests it down to Højlund, just lays it off to Wan-Bissaka. This is good play from Manchester United, putting Arsenal under a bit of pressure now. Whipped in that from Eriksen towards the far post. It's going to come all the way to Marcus Rashford. Ben White's across there. This is a good spell from Man United. Rashford tries to go around the outside. He's inside the penalty. Good feet from Rashford. Pulls it back towards that near post. Looking for Højlund. He couldn't quite get the finish. Good defending again. That was from William Saliba, I think it was. Good chance there for Manchester United's new signing there. But good defending from Arsenal. That was good play there from Marcus Rashford. Again, causing us some problems. Skipped past Ben White a little bit too easily. And then pulled the ball back to the near post, and Højlund was there to try to force it home, but he couldn't do. Bargab says there are no subs yet. Get on Vieira. Well, yeah, no subs at all. You're right. I was surprised Vieira hasn't come on already, but we're into the last 18 minutes. So how long is he going to give him? Terry says, good to see Havertz nearly got involved. Well, he got involved, didn't he? Just you can see he hasn't got the confidence to take on too much. He just wants to play a simple ball, doesn't he? Just to keep possession and not do anything stupid. And sometimes, if you want to make an impact in a game, you've got to be prepared to take a risk and take a gamble, haven't you? Man United now coming forward again, looking for Højlund there, but good defending again from Arsenal, but almost gave it away, Declan Rice, but he does really well. Lovely play from Declan there, finds Gabriel, and now Arsenal can come forward over on that far side with Martin Ødegaard. Just plays the ball infield there to Eddie Nketiah, just lays it off to Zinchenko, and he pops it off to Gabriel, and that's with Declan Rice. The Arsenal midfielders exchanging positions well. Arsenal now coming forward. Kai Havertz plays it out to Martinelli, goes around the outside again. Kai Havertz. Martinelli goes back inside instead to Declan Rice. Now it's with Zinchenko, very central. He's got options, just plays it short though to Ben White, to Declan Rice, gets it back off Eddie Nketiah. Oh, he tried to thread it through to Kai Havertz there. Ball was just cut out by Wan-Bissaka, it was. It's gone out for a throw now to Manchester United. A good play again from Arsenal, but no cutting edge at all. And we've coming up towards the last 15 minutes and still no subs from Arsenal. Anyway, Højlund there and Gabriel battling away. And he does well. Højlund actually finds Bruno Fernandes. Now it's out with Marcus Rashford over on that far side. Marcus Rashford inside the area. Tries a shot just wide. Did it get a deflection? I think it has. It's another corner to Manchester United. This game is very, very finely balanced, you have to say. It could go either way. It's a corner to Manchester United. So maybe it's going to be them to get the next opportunity at goal. There hasn't been enough goal-scoring opportunities yet. But anyway, let's see what the next set piece here brings to Man United over on that far side in the sunshine. The corner comes in towards that near post. Not a great corner, headed away by Kai Havertz. Not a great header, actually, only as far as Anthony tries to get it back into the box again. There's a big red wall in front of him, and Arsenal managed to deal with that. And now we can come forward with Eddie Nketiah. He's got Martinelli on his near side, but that's a poor ball. Well cut out there by Anthony, who's done his defensive work well on that particular occasion. Now it's Casemiro. Plays the ball back to Wan-Bissaka. Casemiro gets it back again. Just does the simple things, doesn't he, Casemiro? There's no airs and graces about him. He just gets on with it, passes the ball simple, keeps it moving, keeps possession. He's got the ball again. He is a very clever footballer, isn't he? Casemiro is on the ball now, just crossing halfway for Manchester United. Now it's played up this near side to Anthony. Well, that's a poor ball there. Wan-Bissaka made the wrong run. The ball went behind him, and now Arsenal back in possession again. Kai Havertz, who's had a much better second half, you have to say. That ball wasn't great, but he has won a throw for Arsenal. Mark C says Eddie Nketiah needs to hide his passing better. He absolutely telegraphed that, and it was going to ping it to left wing. Yeah, absolutely. And anyway, Vieira's coming on now, and Tomiyasu as well. So we are making some changes, in fact, and Gabriel Jesus as well. So Eddie's coming off. Not his greatest game today, you have to say. He worked hard, but it was never going to happen for him. He wasn't really looking like he was going to score today. Hasn't had an opportunity. So Gabriel Jesus is coming on for him, and we know what quality he's got, and I'm sure he'd love a goal against Man United, wouldn't he? Zinchenko's going off for Tomiyasu. So Tomiyasu is going to be playing that left back position, which of course he has played before. And Kai Havertz is coming off for Fabio Vieira. A better second half from Kai Havertz, you have to say, but still he looks very despondent. He looks very unhappy, and that kind of sums up his time so far. Terry says, at last. Mark C says, here we go, changes of foot. Yeah, indeed, 3 substitutions from Arsenal to try and win this game. And let's see if it works. Vieira, of course, had a big impact last week, didn't he? Coming off the bench, although he had a lot longer involvement, and sometimes it can take 5-10 minutes to really get into the game, can't it? And he hasn't really got that long, has he? Just under 15 minutes of normal time remaining for Vieira to have an impact in this game, potentially try and win it for Arsenal. Man United are going to pick up this loose ball here. Marcus Rashford over on that far side again. He's very, very dangerous, isn't he? Cuts in field again inside the penalty. Tries to go past Ben White, but that ball's going to run through to goalkeeper Aaron Ramsey. That was better defending there from Ben White. He struggled a little bit at times against Rashford today. but he did well on that particular occasion. Now, our Arsenal's change is going to be what turns this game in Arsenal's favour. We'll have to wait and see. Ben White now striding forward for Arsenal. Plays the ball in field to Martin Ødegaard. Plays out to that far side. Bukayo Saka plays it back to Martin Ødegaard. Arsenal's goal scorer tries to get it back in again to Bukayo Saka. That was good defending actually there from Dalot it was. And he dinks the ball forward as well, but William Saliba steps in. Well, that's poor play from William Saliba. Now Man United have got a counter-attacking opportunity. Again, it's Marcus Rashford. His body's making their way into the box for Manchester United. Rashford's taken a long time over this. And then the shot's deflected. Oh, dear, Man United didn't make the most of that, did they? He had options there, Rashford. He didn't make the most of them, did he? He's the one player you don't really want the ball to be going to over on that far side of the form he's been on today. Højlund made a great run in field. The ball could have come to him. It didn't. And then Rashford's effort was very, very tame. And it was deflected into the arms of Aaron Ramsdale. That was an opportunity there for Manchester United to take the lead. Anyway, now Martinelli on this near side plays the ball in field to Vieira's first real touch. Plays it back to William Saliba. If he has an impact like last week, could be what makes the difference in this game. Or was what last week a one-off for Fabio? We'll have to wait and see. Again, the jury's still out on him as an Arsenal player, isn't it? Anyway, Arsenal are in possession now. Declan Rice, who's been his usual solid self. Ball played here to Gabriel Martinelli now. Fabio Vieira on this near side. Just lays it off to William Saliba. Arsenal got a lot of possession inside their own half. Man United are ahead now on shots, but it's only one on target for each team. Well, I don't think that's true, is it? Because Man United scored the goal in the second half. Aaron Ramsdale made a save, didn't he? So I'm not sure that's actually correct, is it? Because he made a save from Anthony Martial, didn't he? Terry says, I'm liking that Højlund from what I've seen today. I mean, he's a very physical centre forward, isn't he? He's got a bit of pace as well. By the look of him, he certainly showed some good pace a moment ago, didn't he? Let's see how he adapts to the Premier League, because that's key, isn't it? To players that come from other leagues. It's how they settle in anyway. Gabriel Jesus now on that far side, twisting and turning inside at the penalty area. Gabriel Jesus gets to that byline, plays the ball back to Ben White, dinks a cross up to the edge of the 6-yard box, but Aaron Wan-Bissaka should clear that away, and he does. But it's won back again by Tomiyasu. It's a nice little touch off there to Fabio Vieira. Now it's with Martinelli. Fabio Vieira's outside him again now. Fabio Vieira has got the ball. Finds Tomiyasu. Can he line up across with his left foot? No, he can't. Goes back instead to Vieira. Vieira plays it back again to Tomiyasu. Those two just exchanging passes here without really making any advancement up the pitch. But now it's with Bukayo Saka. Threads it through there to Martinelli. But again, Man United defend that really well. And the ball's back out again to Gabriel Martinelli. Cuts in field. Keeps possession well. Martinelli's opened up a little bit for him. Lays it off to Jesus. Now it's with Martin Ødegaard. Now it's over on that far side. Ben White plays it across Saka. Oh, straight at the goalkeeper. That was a big chance for Bukayo Saka. And now Manchester United have got a counter-attack. That was a moment we've been waiting for there. Bukayo Saka inside the 6-yard box. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. Should have done better. Instead, he hit it straight at Anana, who saved it. And he should have done better. Terry says, Nathan says, oh my God, how did he miss? Yeah, how did he miss? I don't really know. Nathan says that was the chance. That probably was the chance. We're into the 81st minute. We're probably not going to get a better chance than that, are we? Let's be honest. Clear shot at goal from 6 yards out. And he's put it straight at the goalkeeper. Anywhere else that goes in. And he's put it straight at the goalkeeper. So a big opportunity for Arsenal missed. And now it's Manchester United in possession. Ball back inside at the centre circle. Lindelof. Gets it back, Lindelof from Eriksen. Now it's with Harry Maguire. Plays it again to Eriksen. Over on that far side, Christian Eriksen. Plays it back to Harry Maguire. Now Eriksen again. I mean, I'm quite happy just to keep the ball at the moment without pushing forward. In fact, Arsenal pushed them all the way back It's going to go back to the goalkeeper, is it? No, it isn't, because Harry Maguire does go long up this near side looking for Anthony, who was probably offside, so he didn't play the ball. It's gone through to Gabriel. That was a big chance there for Bukayo Saka, wasn't it? A really big chance. Should have done better. You have to say, you really should have done better there. But anyway, let's hope we get one more opportunity in this game. We're in to the last 7.5 minutes of normal time. Plus stoppages. There'll be some stoppage time. Of course there will. Aaron Ramsdale now got the ball at his feet, just on the edge of the Arsenal penalty area. Plays it out to William Saliba. Now it's forward to Declan Rice. Pops it into Martin Odegaard. Steve says there, BBC commentators say Arsenal robbed by a penalty. I don't think we were robbed. I think that was the right decision when you see the replay. You'd be very upset if that was given against you, wouldn't it? I think, personally, I would have been. So I've got no real issue with that. I say, for me, VAR is meant to come up with the right decisions, whether we agree with them or not. And I think it has done there. So, yeah, I don't agree that we were robbed by the penalty at all. They're just showing this chance there for Saka. Oh, dear me. It's on his left foot as well. He's got to bury that in a corner, hasn't he? Just whack it across the keeper. He's just trying to side foot it. I don't know what he was doing there. That is a bad miss. You've got to be honest and say that. Really bad miss. Nathan says he really has to bury that. Yeah, he does. He needs to put it into the corner. Just smash it back in the corner where it's just come from. Anyway, Maynard making another substitution now. Garnacho's coming on for Anthony. And Lindelof is coming off as well. And Johnny Evans making his second debut for Manchester United. Well, we never thought we'd see Johnny Evans, of course, who won the Premier League, didn't he, with Leicester City, whatever, years ago. Back at Manchester United, the Northern Ireland international. And he is back on the field again for Manchester United a long time after he originally left as well. But no, you're right, Nathan. He should bury that. Yeah, you've got to just put that back, say the corner it's just come from, put it back over in that corner and you score, don't you? In fact, anywhere else other than where he hit it. Anyway, Gabriel Jesus has done well. Plays it into the box. Another chance for Saka. That one just runs away from him. Arsenal now ramping up the pressure at his closing stages. Ben White's cross. He's going to find Martinelli. Is it over in that far side? No, it isn't, because Wan-Bissaka is there again. Terry says, that looks worse now. They showed the second chance to get it slow. No, it does, yeah. Most things look worse in slow-mo, don't they? But yeah, that did look worse. But also I've got a corner again. Wan-Bissaka there has got a tackle there on Martinelli. It's got out for a corner to Arsenal on this near side. Nearly 85 minutes on the clock. We got a last-minute winner last year against Man U, didn't we, in this fixture? Are we going to get some late drama again today? Let's see. Gabriel Martinelli is going to take this corner anyway. Is this the moment for Arsenal to win this game? Corner comes into the near post. Not a great corner. That one's cleared away. But Fabio Vieira is going to pick this ball up. He's got support square here in the form of Ben White inside the centre circle. And he goes all the way back to Aaron Ramsdale. Plays it forward over on that far side to William Saliba. Now it's into midfield to Declan Rice. Turns away from a challenge there from Højlund. And now it's come back to Fabio Vieira on this near side. Now it's with Martinelli. He's going to have a run again at Wan-Bissaka. Cuts in field instead. Finds Fabio Vieira. Fabio Vieira plays the ball square to William Saliba. Now it's with Saka over on that far side. He's going to have a run at Dalot, is he? Gets the ball inside to Martin Odegaard. Tries to get it back again. But good defending again from Dalot. May not clear the ball away. But Arsenal ramping up the pressure now. So we move into the last 4 minutes of normal time at the Emirates. Are we going to get a late goal again as we did last year? Is there going to be some late drama? Let's see. Declan Rice now coming forward for Arsenal, but he runs straight into trouble with Casemiro. And now Manchester United can launch a counter-attack. Well, that's a good ball in behind for Christian Eriksen inside the... it's with Højlund inside the penalty area. Højlund cuts in field. Gabriel again, really strong defending. And Anthony Taylor's quite clear that wasn't a penalty, and you have to say that's the right decision as well. It was just great defending from Gabriel, really strong. But that was a good counter-attack again from Manchester United. And although this game's there to be won for Arsenal, we're going to have to be careful when we lose the ball, because Man United do look good on the counter-attack, don't they? We are now into the final 3 minutes of this game. Ben White now plays it back to Declan Rice inside the centre circle. Now it's with Tomiyasu, plays it square again. Arsenal keeping possession inside their own half, but not really doing much with it. Mark C says there, we look like we've run out of ideas. Yeah, I agree. We look like we've run out of ideas. We brought the subs on as well. So, it's, it seems strange to say we've run out of ideas when we've got the subs on, should bring fresh ideas. Nathan says there, to be honest, I've forgotten how it felt to see a good referee. Yeah, no, you're right. Anyway, Man United now coming forward. Oh, that's a nice little touch. Oh, and it's ball played through. It's going to be a chance for Manchester United. It's a goal for Manchester United. Have they won it with 2.5 minutes to go? It's a substitute. Garnacho's just come on, who's got the goal. Manchester United lead 2-1. And it looks as though they're going to leave with all 3 points. A counter-attack again. And the Man United fans on the clock end are celebrating the goal. Mark, see there, Nathan, oh dear. Terry as well. Not good. Not good. Arsenal caught out there on the counter-attack. It is Garnacho, one of the Manchester United substitutes, who has made the impact for them. The Argentinian with 2 minutes of normal time to play. Let's look at the goal again. Arsenal had the ball, lost it in midfield. And then it was a quick counter-attack, a nice little back heel there. The ball was played for all a hint of offside. I don't think he is. I don't know who the defender is on this near side playing him onside. I think it might have been Gabriel. It's a good finish, actually. It's a one-on-one. It is Gabriel. He tried to hold his run. I think he's onside. We haven't got the best angle. Oh, it's offside. It's offside. It's disallowed. Wow. That is incredible. It's offside. Nathan said his arm is offside. Oh, my word. That was lucky there. We've got away with one there. I've just changed the score back to 1-1. So VAR have, they overturned a penalty and now they've disallowed that goal. That was a tight one there, wasn't it? Gabriel just managed to hold his line. The Manchester United celebrations are finished. Mark C says there he's leaning forward. Yeah, he is. I mean, if Nathan said his arm is offside, I'm not sure how that's offside, because you can't use your arm to control the ball. So you haven't gained an advantage, have you? And this is where the offside rule, to me, is mad. Anyway, Reece Nelson has come on for Martinelli. So once again, it looks as though Emil Smith-Rowe's getting 0 minutes in the Premier League. Why we didn't just sell him, I do not know. Anyway, Terry says VAR has saved Arteta's arse. Well, it's done both today, hasn't it? It's been good and it's been bad for us. Gabriel J. Luce has picked up a yellow card. Must have been for complaining about something or other. I'm not really sure. Anyway, it's going to be 8 minutes of stoppage time. 8 minutes of stoppage time is going to be, wow. There's certainly been a lot of hold-ups here. Are we still going to see a late goal? We thought we'd seen one there, but it's been overturned by VAR. Nathan says 8 minutes. Come on, indeed, 8 minutes. Well, we knew there'd be a bit of stoppage time. There's obviously been 2 VAR checks now in the second half, hasn't there? Plus series of substitutions and whatever. Rajendra says inches offside was 6. Yeah, I mean, it was very, very close. I thought it was very close, wasn't it? Anyway, Declan Rice now plays the ball forward. And as we said before, Arsenal do appear to have run out of ideas in the attacking sense, you have to say. But we've been given a let-off with that VAR decision, haven't we? Can we make the most of it in the stoppage time that remains? Manchester United now coming forward, though, with Rashford on this near side now. The ball goes back to Harry Maguire, the England connection there. Quite a lot of England players on the pitch, hasn't there been in this game today, actually? You know, obviously with Ben White, Aaron Ramsdale for Arsenal, Declan Rice, of course, Bukayo Saka, Eddie Nketiah for Arsenal, of course, for Manchester United now. Marcus Rashford and Harry Maguire, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Good to see. Anyway, Garnacho now, who's had that goal disallowed, trying to get forward again. Good defending, though, from Arsenal. and we can try and bring the ball forward. You have to say, though, at this point in the game, Manchester United look the most likely, and there's going to be a free kick over on that far side. A foul there on Martin Ødegaard. And it is going to be a free kick to Arsenal. We played 2 minutes of the 8. So there's still time for a winner in this game. Can Arsenal make the most of that let off and manage to find a goal at the other end to win it? Martin Ødegaard twisting and turning there. And then he's fouled by Christian Eriksen. Those two, of course, know each other well from Scandinavian football, you'd imagine. And time is ticking on. If we're going to get a win in this game, Arsenal are going to drop points for the second home game in a row. Of course, it could have been a lot worse, but that'll be 2 draws at home when really, you know, these are games that we've got to be looking at trying to win. Anyway, Fabio Vieira just about keeps this ball in on the near side. Is he going to have a late impact in this game like he did last week? Looking for a bit more movement around him than what he got. Gabriel now gets it back again. Fabio Vieira plays it infield to Jesus. Vieira lays it off again to Gabriel. Now it's square to Declan Rice. Arsenal pressing now for this late winning goal. Saka over on that far side. Can he get a cross in? No, he can't because he finds Declan Rice instead. Declan Rice lays it off to Martin Ødegaard. Now it's with William Saliba. It's quite tense now, isn't it, in this game as we move in towards the last few minutes of stoppage time. Are we going to see a late goal? Arsenal coming forward. Bukayo Saka ran into a little bit of trouble there, but he's managed to keep the ball. Now he spreads it wide to Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson just inside the penalty. Is it going to be Reiss Nelson's moment? Pulls it back. Oh, it wasn't a great ball, actually. But Arsenal managed to stop that Man United counter-attack. But Man United picked up the ball again. Oh, and Casemiro's lost it to Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson pulls it back again to the edge of the box. It falls to Vieira. Oh, nice tackle on him just on the edge of the penalty. And now Reiss Nelson again. That's a poor touch, though. Wan-Bissaka's across there. And Arsenal now looking into these last 4 minutes of stoppage time, trying to find this winning goal. Tomiyasu with the throw for Arsenal. Oh, we got here Gabriel plays the ball back to Tomiyasu. Now it's infield to Reiss Nelson. Reiss Nelson plays it back again to Gabriel. Can he line up a cross? Instead, he tries to play it into Tomiyasu. He's never scored for Arsenal. This would be a nice time to break that duck, wouldn't it? With a late goal against Man U. I say we did win it in stoppage time last season, but that ball there, cross, is headed away only as far as Ben White. Arsenal knocking on the door as we move into the last 3.5 minutes of stoppage time. It's now with Tomiyasu on this near side. Tomiyasu plays it back to Gabriel. Arsenal pressing, but yet to create an opportunity here. In fact, we haven't really had an opportunity since that Bukayo Saka one, which he should have scored, shouldn't he? Anyway, Gabriel Jesus now over on that far side. Gabriel Jesus twisting and turning, trying to find a cross. He can't. Plays it back to Martin Ødegaard. Shot from distance over the top of the crossbar. In fact, he got a deflection, did it? It's going to be a corner to Arsenal. We played 5 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game. 5 minutes of stoppage time played. So there's, 3 minutes to play. And Arsenal have got a corner over on that far side again. We've had lots of corners in this game. Not really managed to make the most of many of them, to be fair. Bukayo Saka now has got an opportunity here to get this corner in. Decent ball towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Goes all the way to the far post. Fabio Vieira tries to... Declan Rice has deflected. It's in. And again, for the second year running, Arsenal have scored in injury time at the end of the game. It's Declan Rice with his first Arsenal goal. It took a huge deflection. The corner fell to him at the far post. His shot there has ended up in the net. Not quite sure whether or not it was going in, whether it's going to end up being an own goal. Oh, it's going to go down to Declan Rice. He's probably going to get booked because he's jumped into the North Bank there to celebrate the goal. Incredible scenes here at the Emirates. It looks as though Arsenal are going to be losing 2-1. It now looks as though we're going to be winning 2-1. Late drama once again at the Emirates against Manchester United. Nathan says there, get in. Majanda says 2-1. Mark C says yes. Indeed, there's a minute and a half to play. And is this going to be Declan Rice's first Arsenal goal? And if it is, what a time to get it. It was a corner there from Bukayo Saka. Came all the way across to Declan Rice. Nice control on his chest. The shot came in. It's definitely his goal. It was going in. It has taken a deflection, but it's definitely Declan Rice's first Arsenal goal. Nice control on his chest. It fell nicely for him. Was it Harry Maguire with a deflection? It was going in anyway. And Onana couldn't keep it out. And Arsenal have got a late winner. Surely that's going to be the late winner. The deflection made it. In fact, did it hit the post and go in? Not quite sure, but it's ended up in the back of the net anyway. That's the only thing that matters. And as Steve says there, Rice. Virginia says concentration now indeed. Mark says slight nick off Johnny Evans. Was it Johnny Evans, was it? Oh, I thought it might have been Harry Maguire. But anyway, Declan Rice is celebrating his first Arsenal goal. What a time to get it as well. Wow. The last minute of stoppage time. And Arsenal are going to be looking as though now we've somehow managed to get 3 points from this game. It wasn't looking very likely, was it? But Declan Rice has got his first Arsenal goal, and delighted about that he looks as well. We're now coming up to the 8 minutes, but we've not played at all since the goal went in. Nathan says there, Rice, baby, indeed. And Steve says, Arsenal, come on. Virginia says, keep the ball. Yeah, we need to keep the ball now. Don't do anything stupid. There's a lot of Arsenal fans outside the ground who had already started to go home. Well, there you go. You see, never, ever leave a game early. Certainly not when it's in the balance like that one. And some Arsenal fans have missed the goal, which is a shame, isn't it? You know, Martin Odegaard has now gone off, and Jorginho has come on for these last few moments here. And Onana now is going to go long with this goal kick. May not have flick it on, but it's going to run all the way through to Aaron Ramsdale. And it looks as though Manchester United are going to be leaving the Emirates with another late defeat for the second year in a row. But there's still some minutes to play. We've played over the 8 minutes now, but there will still be more left because of the delay over that goal. Ten Hag's looking at bemused on the sidelines. And it hasn't been the greatest game, certainly not in Arsenal Man United history, but there's been a lot of late drama, and Arsenal once again are on the brink of another victory at the Emirates against Manchester United, which is almost an annual event these days, isn't it? It never used to be, did it? For years they had a great record here, but we are now just seconds away from getting another victory here, and an important victory it'll be as well. It's a throw over on that far side to Manchester United. We've played nearly 10 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this second half, but you know, we knew there was going to be more time because there's a goal scored. And with a long throw in towards the Arsenal penalty, it's flicked on, but William Saliba just hoops it anywhere. And is it going to be a free kick? It's a free kick to Manchester United. And we've played the 8 already. It's the last chance, surely, for Manchester United if they're going to get something, a long throw again, chested down, and it's just hoof clear. And Arsenal now looking for a counter. Jesus, surely he fouled the defender Johnny Evans there. He did. It's going to be a free kick to Manchester United. We've come up to 100 minutes. Now it's with Casemiro. Surely this is the last chance, man. That ball played into the box, a dangerous ball headed away by William Saliba. Oh, now suddenly Arsenal have got a counter-attack. Fabio Vieira plays it through. Jesus is in. Is he onside? The flag stayed down. Gabriel Jesus to seal it for Arsenal. Oh, lovely feet. Lovely goal. And Arsenal have won it. 100th minute. It's 3-1. We've got away with it today, you have to say, but we've won it late again. That's a great finish from Gabriel Jesus. But it's 3-1 there, as Rajandra says. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Wow, what a finish to this game. It's not been a great game, but what a finish it's been. Exciting stuff. And it is 3-1. Wow, who saw this coming? Probably not too many of us, to be honest. Ten Hag's looking very, very frustrated. Terry says, get in there. Steve says their 7th and 12th minute goals. Yeah, exactly, of stoppage time. Lovely finish it is from Jesus. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. He left Dallo on his backside there and rolled it into that far corner. That is a great goal. Bang, 3-1. Wow, what excitement here. There has been very, very late drama. It's been incredible stuff. And Arsenal have won the game. The celebrations are going on in the stadium. And it's great to see what a late drama again in an Arsenal-Manchester United game. And surely that's going to be the full-time whistle now. We've played 102 minutes now in this game. It's just going to go on forever. It doesn't matter now. In fact, is that the full-time whistle? Not sure if it is. It's not the full-time whistle. Arteta thought it was. It's a free kick. Mark C says, come on, admit it is never in doubt. No, it was never in doubt, no, until the 98th minute, whenever it was when we scored. Man United are now coming forward themselves. It's going to be too late, even if they do manage to get a second goal now. The away end is empty. The Man United fans have seen enough. They are on their way back up the motorway. And there goes the full-time whistle. It has finished here at the Emirates. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. We did it the hard way. There was VAR, there was drama. With 3 minutes to go, it looked as though Man United had won it when they scored. And made it what looked to be 2-1 to Man United. The goal was overruled for offside, and then in stoppage time, Declan Rice fired in his first ever Arsenal goal, deflected in, and then on the counter-attack of Man United for everything forward at the end, Gabriel Jesus was found by Fabio Vieira, and he ran through to finish it off. And we have got the 3 points. Well, Phil says I can relax now. Yeah, well, we can all relax now. Indeed, we all can relax now. But yeah, well, Regenda says Jesus is back. Yeah, he is back, and he took his goal really well, didn't he? Brilliant finish right at the end there. Terry says, "I'll walk in the park." If you ask me, yeah, it was a walk in the park in the final couple of minutes, wasn't it? You have to say. Mark C says Ten Hag will go mental in the post-match interview. Yeah, he probably will. He'll probably definitely go mental. Yeah, he'll lose a few more hairs, won't he? Pulling them out for that one. Steve says, "Good one, Terry. Never scared." No, exactly. No, we were always going to win that game, wasn't we? But yeah, late drama there. Declan Rice has got a smile on his face again, and this time it's to celebrate his first ever Arsenal goal. Wasn't quite the winning goal in the end because Jesus grabbed another one, but it doesn't matter. Declan Rice has got the goal. He's shaking his head in disbelief almost, and I think we all are a little bit, aren't we? Incredible finish to that game. Absolutely incredible. It has finished at the Emirates. Arsenal 3, Man United 1. Wow, that was some. It wasn't. In history, there's been some fantastic Arsenal Man United games, hasn't there? And for long periods of time, this wasn't one of them, was it? You have to say. But at the end there, what drama! The last 5-10 minutes of normal time plus the extra injury time there, just incredible stuff. Drama, controversy, VAR, disallowed goals, and 2 late dramas there. Nathan says the Premier League delivers again. It did in the end, mate. It did in the end. It was a bit of a slow burner, that game, you have to say. But we got the job done. The Man United players are trudging over to the fans of theirs that are left in the stadium with not too many. Bongo Guna says, yes, indeed. It's always nice beating Man U, no matter where they are in the league, no matter where we are in the league. It's always nice to beat Man U, isn't it? And to do it again in stoppage time for the second year running, just incredible. Just incredible, isn't it? Bongo Guna says, up yours, PGMOL. Well, yeah, I mean, they did us a favour today, didn't they? Henry says, what a wonderful day this is, beat Man United again. Indeed, yeah, it's always great to beat Man United, isn't it? Jesus and Casemiro there, and the 2 Brazilians in a little embrace there at the end. And it's Jesus who's got that 3rd goal to seal the victory there right at the end, the 110th minute, whenever it was when that went in. Steve says, same as last season, last minute goal. Exactly, yeah, same as last season. Indeed, it was. We won that one 3-2, didn't we? In stoppage time. This time we've sealed it in stoppage time with 2 goals. Incredible stuff. Terry says, looking forward to seeing what Arteta says and to find out why he find out what way he took it to MC. Yeah, his press conference over there, that was mad, wasn't it? Incredible, yeah. When he was saying about the way he drives to the ground. It'd be interesting to know what way he's going home tonight, maybe. We'll have to find out, won't we? And of course, again, you see, he plays the players in their right positions and we win the game. Is that a surprise? Again, I don't think it's something he was intending to do, but he's done it and it's worked. Phil says the last 10 were incredible, mate. The last the last 10 minutes of normal time plus all the 15 minutes of stoppage time. Incredible stuff, really. Wayne says brilliant result. I'm still 100% convinced though. Garnacho goal stands and it's a different game, millimetres in. No, exactly. Yeah, of course. That was a big turning point, wasn't it? Because at that time it looked as though Man United were winning with 2 minutes of normal time to play. It looked as though Man United were going to win the game 2-1. And yeah, VAR. They maybe didn't help us with a penalty, though. I think it was the right decision. They've helped us out there, and in the end, it's led to us getting an incredible victory. And what an incredible end to that game, you have to say. The final 20 minutes were great to watch, weren't they? That's the sort of football that we all want to see, isn't it? End-to-end stuff, drama, excitement, goals, VAR, disallowed goals, loads of exciting stuff going on. Brilliant to see. Steve says there, agree, Wayne, but from start, our best game by far. I don't know. It was a better performance than last week, certainly. There's no doubt about that. It was a much better performance than last week. And yeah, it was better than the Forest performance. Yeah, it probably was our best performance so far. You're right, but there hasn't been much of a high bar, really, has there, in the performance level? The results have been decent. 3 wins and a draw now out of 4 games. You have to say, got to be happy with it, haven't we? But yeah, late drama. Wow, just brilliant stuff to see. Terry says, yeah, agree, Steve. Yeah, exactly. No, it was very, very exciting, and at the end of the day, that's what we want to see. You know, we want some excitement, and we got some there at the end, didn't we? Well, we can take a breath now, can't we? After that, well, that was some finish, wasn't it? So just to recap then, after a fairly even start, it was Man United who broke away midway through that first half to take the lead. Marcus Rashford it was, with a goal on a counter-attack. Christian Eriksen with the assist and a good finish from Marcus Rashford into the far corner. But straight away, within a minute, Arsenal would equalise, a counter-attack down the left-hand side. Martinelli pulled the ball back. Martin Odegaard finished from about 12 yards to make it 1-1. And that was how it stayed pretty much for most of the game. All the drama happened at the end with, 3 minutes to go. Man United sub, it was Alessandro Garnacho ran through from halfway, took his goal really well. It looked like Man United had won it 2-1, but VAR said he was just offside by a fraction. The goal got disallowed, and then in stoppage time, a corner from Bukayo Saka fell to Declan Rice at the far post, and he smashed it in via a deflection to make it 2-1. And then in the 10th minute of stoppage time, again on a counter-attack, Fabio Vieira played the ball through to Gabriel Jesus, and he had a lovely finish inside the box, slotted it into the far corner, made it 3-1, and we've walked away with all 3 points where we could have walked away with none. So incredible drama and great stuff indeed. Mark C says, we still aren't clicking as compared to the performance of last season. No, you're right, we're not. But, 3 wins out of 4 and a draw is not bad, is it? Nathan says, great commentary. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Run yourself, mate. Yeah, enjoy your Sunday evening. Speak to you very soon. Terry says, just a shame the first 89 minutes were right. Well, yeah, they were pretty slow going. Steve says, we only need 5 minutes. Yeah, well, no, we did only need a couple of minutes today, didn't we? But even so, great stuff, wasn't it? Brilliant finish to the game. And we have got all 3 points. So, yeah, as I said, I'm going to be on in about 20 past 7, so 40 minutes. I am going to be on Talk TV, which is on YouTube, it's on the internet, it's on the radio as well. So tune in for that. We're going to be talking about this game, so no doubt there's lots to talk about, isn't there? VAR, there is late drama, all kinds of stuff. So join me for that with Mark Saggers. That is going to be coming up Saturday at about 20 past 7. The show starts at 7, but our little section is not until 20 past. So join me for that one if you can. I will try and get an Arsenal review show on. It'll probably have to be tomorrow if it's going to be. I'll see if I can get anybody to come on, and I'll see what we can do. So look out for that one. I'll try and get the Arsenal Women's Show on Friday as well, looking at the Champions League qualifier, of course, on Wednesday, the semi-final against Linköping. We have to win that game to give ourselves a chance of getting through to the group stage. We then will have to play a final. And if we win that, we'll then be into the group stage. So let's see what happens there. But yeah, so hopefully Friday we'll be here with that. I've got a run to do, but hopefully I can be back in time. We may have to start maybe 8 o'clock just to make sure I've got enough time to come back. But anyway, we'll see. But anyway, there'll be loads of stuff coming up. And of course, there is an international break next weekend as well. So there won't be no watchalongs until the next Arsenal Women's game, of course, the Champions League. So join us all for that one coming up. But today it has finished at the Emirates in dramatic fashion. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. Well, Magenda says Rashford only scored 1 versus us. We always scores against us, doesn't he? Terry says, well, chaps, it's 3 points. Indeed, it is. Emerson says, rice, baby. Indeed, rice, baby it was. Even though it took a deflection, we don't care. Brilliant stuff. Mark says, if you're all the best fellas, the rest of my Sunday is going to be sweet. Yeah, I think we'll all enjoy our Sunday evening now, won't we, after that brilliant finish? Phil says, catches later. Well, happy with the result. Yeah, I mean, we're really over the moon with the result, let's be honest. But it's always nice to win a game in the last minute, isn't it? It makes it even better, doesn't it? Even sweeter. So especially against them. So yeah, brilliant stuff. So yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in today. If you've enjoyed the show, if you give us a like, of course, before you go. I say we'll try and get some stuff on for you through the week if we can. It's a bit awkward now with my new job and stuff like that. It's quite difficult getting time, and I've got other things on the go as well. Rajendra says Jesus is back, the second coming. Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, he took his goal really well, didn't he? Which was great to see. Mark C says after Spurs, this is the one team I want us to beat. Of course, yeah, I think we all, anybody that watched football in the 80s and 90s in particular will have developed a certain feeling for Manchester United that we want to beat them every time we play them, and it's been going on for years, hasn't it? So of course it's always nice to beat them, and to beat them like that is just even sweeter, isn't it? Let's be honest, especially as they were celebrating what they thought was a victory a few moments before and made it even better, didn't it? Which is great, of course. Steve says win is a win, got to play better, can't do that again, hyperventilate. Yeah, we can do without the drama, mate, let's be honest, but sometimes those games are more exciting to watch than maybe if you're 4-0 up and the last 10 minutes are just a waste of time keeping possession, doing nothing. I suppose at least it's exciting, isn't it? Terry says, great show again, Richard. Night, Steve, Mark, Rajendra, everyone I've missed. Come on, you're going to hit the thumbs up button before you go, indeed. Rajendra says, now to beat them at Old Trafford. Yeah, that's something we haven't done very often. The only time we've beaten them in recent years there was, of course, in that COVID season when there was no fans in the ground. So we definitely... we're overdue a good victory at Old Trafford, but let's not worry about that for now. It was not for a while till we play about Old Trafford. Let's enjoy this one. It's been exciting. It's been great, hasn't it? So let's hope that's the case as well. Steve says, have a great day. And yourself, mate. Well, it'll be probably morning where you are, won't it? Mark C says, hope we do with Rajendra about time. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's about time we beat them at Old Trafford in a game that's got fans in the stadium. But let's see what happens. A long way to wait for that. Let's enjoy this one. And let's enjoy the fact that we've got 10 points out of 12. We're only 2 points behind Man City, let's be honest. And, at this point in the season, with the way that we're playing, which hasn't been great overall, we've got to be pleased with that. But, it came good in the end today, didn't it? And it came good in very dramatic style, didn't it? Rajendra says we will be positive. Well, I mean, we'll try and be positive if we can, but that game's not for ages yet, is it? So we won't really have to think too much about that for now. We just want to enjoy this one, go into the international break, look forward to the Arsenal women playing during the week in the Champions League qualifier, and let's hope that they can get the victory needed and get through in the Champions League as well. And then who knows, maybe we can enjoy some Champions League football for the men and the women this season, which would be good, wouldn't it? First time for a few years, that will be. Rajendra says, Boyle, great show today, and no complaints today, mate. We're all happy. We won the game, we're all happy, which is good. Terry says, and you, Steve, that's got Man City shaking in their boots. I'm sure it has, yeah. And Steve says they're good, let's hope so. Yeah, indeed, let's hope so. Doesn't matter though. We all we can do is, and I said this last season when we were battling for the title, we can only focus on our game. We can only do what we can do. We can go out and win our games. That's all we can do. What Man City do, what other teams do, we have no control over it. We just control our games. So that's all we can do. And let's hope that we can win a few more. But that's it for me. I'm back on Talk TV very shortly, 7:20. So join me for that on the Mark Saggers show. I will see you very soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, guys. It's been a good day, hasn't it? Finished here at the Emirates. Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. It was Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice, and Gabriel Jesus with the goals after Marcus Rashford had given Man U the lead, but we turned it around. Come on, you guys. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, give us a like. Please subscribe. I will see you very, very soon. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't forget, tune in to Talk TV at 7:20, and I'll be there. Take it easy, guys. Speak to you later.